wide receiver Jalen Waddle to the Broncos for pick number 30 overall, plus a third rounder and a fourth in this year's draft. For Denver, it's their first outside edition of the offseason. They were the last team to do so.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. We've got a splashy NFL trade to start today with the Denver Broncos acquiring wide receiver Jalen Waddle. By the way, they were the final team to add an outside free agent. I know that people have felt that Seattle's offseason has been a little lackluster or a little boring, a little quiet, right? But there was at least one other team that hadn't added an outside name yet. So Jalen Waddle becomes their first and also becomes probably the biggest NFL news to start the day. And I mention it because it is another splashy move for another team. And one thing that I'm noticing, Bump, is maybe a general lack of excitement nationally about what the Seahawks have done this offseason. So I thought that we could start the show by just checking in on the Seahawks offseason. Where do they sit right now in, let's say, offseason power rankings? Are they still atop the mountain or have splashier moves? Signing a future Hall of Famer Mike Evans by the 49ers. Signing a big-name running backs by the Steelers and Cardinals, trading for Trent McDuffie. Have they moved the rest of the league ahead of them?
I think it's all about perspective, right? The Rams have done more. The Niners have done more. Even the Cardinals, I feel like, have done more over there, even though they need to do a whole lot more to even be in the conversation in the division. But they've been making moves. I think it's easier to lose players when you've won a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Guys are getting paid. You can't pay everybody. Imagine trying to pay everyone what they got in Chicago, in Cincinnati, in Kansas City. You wouldn't have any money to operate. So what do you have to do? You have to look within. You got to go to that scouting department and say, all right, roll the tape. Who do we have? Who do you like out there? Oh, there's this big, thick running back from Green Bay no one's talking about. Oh, there's this wiry safety from the Colts no one's talking about. There's this DB. Where'd he come from? Was he a Cincinnati? The last DB they signed. I can't even pronounce the name. I don't want to jack it up yet, so I gotta go to school first.
Yeah.
No, I think they've been making progress, but everyone else has kind of been sprinting. But when you win a Super Bowl, you have a head start in the game. So they're trying to catch you. Have they caught you as far as the signings? Probably, because you mentioned Mike Evans. You got Christian Kirk, who just signed with the 49ers, too. They're doing things. But how far ahead were the Seahawks is the question, and have they really caught them? I would say personnel-wise on paper, everyone's neck and neck, or maybe the Rams have a slight edge, or maybe even the Niners have a slight edge. But it's because they've signed players that have resumes, to whereas the Hawks are saying, we're going to dig deep because we have to and work on our not work on it, but depend on our evaluation of players, and hopefully they pop.
That's a great way to frame it, is it's all about the context of your starting point, right? If a team starts a mile behind you and, they run 3/4 of a mile, are they better than you? No, they're still right behind you. It's just a little bit closer. Really like that analogy and that way to look at, like, I wasn't the one to initially make this point, but we had a guest on who talked about the Trent McDuffie trade for the Rams and said, well, I mean, the Rams were getting burned by the Panthers and Seahawks on some pretty deep completions that led to 2 regular season losses. They weren't going to stick with Emmanuel Forbes. They weren't going to stick with exactly who they had in the secondary. Yeah, Trent McDuffie adds an all-pro to an NFC West opponent that you're going to face twice next year. That's intimidating. They needed him, though, in order to have a better shot against you. So I think it's, if you see the Rams and Seahawks as being equal, then you're probably looking at the Rams as having improved there. But I just think that's kind of a flawed approach to examining this offseason. Not because I covered the Seahawks and I'm being biased, but because it assumes regression for one team and not for another. I think, too, Bump, the second point I wanted to get to is, if the Seahawks were to trade for JSN or sign Devin Witherspoon as a free agent, they'd be seen as universally like the winners of the offseason. You've already got your 2 most important moves on this roster: avoiding a contract dispute or bad blood or a contract holdout and keeping these two guys on long-term deals that still gives you a little bit of flexibility, that's your win. That's acing the offseason. That and finding a way to replace Ken Walker, which is going to be an ongoing thing. But, like, your two biggest moves are contracts that you kind of have to settle in-house.
Yeah, you're going to sign arguably the best receiver in the game, and you are going to sign arguably top 5 corners in the game. You put them at nickel, maybe top 2 or 3 nickels in the game, and Witherspoon. So those are moves. It's not fun to look at it that way. And when I talk about it that way, I always think of the Mariners when they were saying, actually, our biggest few years ago, our biggest moves are signing from within. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, you're probably right, but that
like
doesn't sound
out.
fun.
No.
That doesn't look fun. You're looking at the Rams and the Niners and what they're doing and stuff. But that's the reality of the situation. Both these guys are all pros. You're signing all pros. You're making sure these all pro guys are going to be here for the long run. And then you sprinkle in some other stuff. A lot of people tend to overpay. I believe Boye was overpaid. I believe K9 was probably paid what he deserved. And Kobe Bryant was maybe a little overpaid. In this situation, you are relying on your football knowledge of what you see to be true, what type of player you need. And if you can get one of these guys to pop on the cheap, then you're setting yourself up for success. So this is what happens when you win championships and guys get poached. But let's focus on the guys you're bringing back. Ernest's still going to be here. Byron's still going to be here. Leo's still going to be here. D-Law, I pray that you are still here. You signed Joe. So there are some things that they've done, man. And Josh Jones is a signing that no one's really going to talk about. I think that's a hell of a signing too, man, with Josh Jones. He played some good football. Mm-hmm. So look, you got a whole bunch of pieces still here. Your moves have not been really attractive. But I hope you guys have gone and watched even some highlights on some of these dudes that they signed. You can see it. You can understand, like, all right, he has a chance to do it. Nothing's guaranteed. You got to go out and prove it. But I'm okay with the moves that they've made because I understand the position that they're in.
I've been also saying, so I want to be consistent about it, that in order to, like, truly ace the offseason, I do want to see just a little more added to the running back room, whether it's someone that you take in the draft, whether it's someone that you trade for or sign as a free agent. Did Brian Robinson Jr. sign anywhere? I know that we were all watching. Still a free agent. Curious that he hasn't. Maybe San Francisco's trying to keep him or something because obviously – his run game coordinator is your new OC. Alvin Kamara rumored to be available via trade. We'll talk about the latest Seahawk mock draft, which has the Seahawks taking a running back. So I do want to see more added there. But otherwise, I think that you're right. They have a lot of all-pro talent and Pro Bowl talent still on the roster. Locking those guys down for longer, giving themselves the flexibility to add 1 or 2 more weapons, that's a win. That's an A+. So we'll see whether or not they do that. I know that you did want to get to something, Bump, which was to re-examine something that Ross Tucker mentioned the other day on Brock and Salk. First of all, they were having a conversation about overarching NFL themes that he noticed from the 2025 season. And in this point, he says, well, I think teams are going to look for a little more kind of like their version of Nick Emenwari. And then you noticed something about what he said.
I think more and more teams are going to look for their Nick Emenwari this year. Good luck, by the way. They don't have a lot of them. Mike McDonald, I mean, I would like to see hey, Mike, how about running a defense without a freak show nickelback like Kyle Hamilton or Nick Emenwari? Let's see how smart Mike McDonald is if he doesn't have a 6'4", 225-pound total specimen.
Now, he's being kind of tongue-in-cheek about it, but after we played that yesterday, you and I talked about it for a few minutes, and then we moved on to other stuff. You were still thinking about it.
Yeah, I was. I woke up thinking about it. And actually, I was reading an email that we exchange in the mornings, and we're talking about offensive line, and it just got my mind going different places. And I was like, what's up with Ross Tucker, though, man? Like, you win with personnel in the NFL. You don't win with coaching in the NFL. Coaching helps. Coaching sets guys up. It builds a foundation, philosophy, but you win with talent is how you win in the NFL. So I didn't like him just getting at our coach like that. Even if he was just playing around a little bit, I still felt a little envy in there. 2025, Philly won Super Bowl. Best O-line in the game, best running back in the game, personnel. 2024 and 2025, Chiefs win, right? Best quarterback in the game, best tight end in the game, one of the best offensive minds in the game. 2022, Rams win. Triple crown receiver, almost break Calvin Johnson's record.
Oh, and Aaron Donald.
One of the, if not the best interior defensive lineman in the game. 2024, Bucks win. Best quarterback to ever live, Tom Brady, 43 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, over 5,000 yards, led, and his defense was stupid.
I was going to say that run defense.
So I'm like, where is this coming from? Why are you dialing in or just zoning in on Mike? Is it because you're just on the Seattle show and you just want to poke fun at him a little bit? Personnel wins you games. All right. Every team that I've coached, it wasn't because I was the greatest coach in the world that we won games. It was because I helped, but I had a 300-pound guard. I had a D1 receiver on the outside. I had a quarterback who understood my offense. Like, personnel wins the game. So I just didn't like the tone, Ross. I know you're a good guy. You've been on our show. I just didn't like the tone because every year talent is going to win you ball game. When's the last time you seen this a team, a whole bunch of blue-collar guys just won a Super Bowl?
Mighty Ducks.
It don't happen. Mighty Ducks. Or Big Green. We're going like Disney movies. You know what I'm saying? Kicking and screaming. That's not reality. You need ballers to win championships, and then the coaching just enhances it a bit.
You know why I love this conversation, though? Like, I know that Ross is, A, being tongue-in-cheek about it, but B, also he was making a comparison between the defense that Mike had in Baltimore with Kyle Hamilton being like, look, you see multiple teams that have this kind of Swiss Army knife safety. Is he a linebacker? Is he helping the pass rush? Is he dropping into coverage? What's he doing? Wow, what a cool weapon. Mike McDonald has had him both times. You know, what kind of genius are you? Like, I get it. I also think that you're making a point because people do misunderstand that. Mm-hmm. And the reason I like it right now when we're talking about offseason additions or offseason losses is I think that we fall so in love with the idea of a brilliant front office or a brilliant head coach that we think you don't need certain players. Mm-hmm. So when I see people go like, I'm not worried about replacing Ken Walker at all, or I don't like this player, he can go. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Now you do want to have a great head coach. You know, scheme is important. You do want to have a really good GM. But you cannot assemble a group, like you said, of plucky underdogs and just go win this thing. You need Pro Bowlers. You need all pros. You need talent. And when you lose talent, you need to find a way to replace it. You cannot just immediately look at guys that you like their personalities and you hope that it can work out because, 3 threes together make a 9. That's not what you're looking at here. You need to find a 9. You need to go find talent.
I worked my butt off in the NFL. If you had a receiving core full of 4 Michael Bumpuses, y'all ain't probably going to do much, man.
You don't know that.
You ain't going to do much. You need to diversify the portfolio and switch it up a little bit.
But your karaoke group.
Hey, karaoke would be fire. But it is what it is, man. It's all about talent. Unfortunately, Mike McDonald, John Schneider, and the scouting department knows what type of talent they need to execute their defense. You know, and I think that's where Mike McDonald comes in the most, I think, is the teaching of his offense, or his defense, getting guys to understand, and then finding the right type of talent. Because there's talent all throughout the NFL. Everyone in the NFL is talented. But do you have the right attributes to do the things I need you to do at this position? That's why it's good luck trying to find a Nick Imawari. There ain't no 6'4s, 220s, 225s walking around like that. They just, and if they are, they're typically receivers or tight ends or something like that. Good luck finding that. And what I love about the Nick Imawari thing is that every team passed on him. He was there for every team to pick, and every team passed on him. Mike McDonald and John moved up and grabbed him, and now Ross is giving him flack for it.
Yeah. And
it's just he's got a good eye for talent.
I want to respond to one texter. Joe in Bellevue is a regular listener, by the way, but I am going to respectfully disagree. Joe says, many of the ballers on the Seahawks are people I'd never heard of. I do think Mike's been able to put his players in position to maximize their talents, and John has found hidden talent. I think the last two things are absolutely true. I think Mike is great at putting his players in the right position to maximize their talents, and I think John Schneider has found hidden talent. I would push back against the idea that I think we'd like blend stories a little bit with the Seahawks. The 2013 Seahawks had a 5th-round pick in Richard Sherman, a 5th-round pick, Cam Chancellor, 4th-round pick, K.J. Wright, Bobby Wagner, who had fallen to the 2nd round, Russell Wilson, who became a franchise quarterback after being a 3rd-rounder, Marshawn Lynch, who you acquired in a midseason trade from the Bills, who they had mostly written off, like Michael Bennett, who was an undrafted free agent originally with you, then goes to Tampa, then signs with you, Cliff Averill, who had been on a winless Lions team. Like we that became the story of guys with chips on their shoulders, and that was really cool. And we tend to blend that a little bit with this version of the Seahawks. That is not this version of the Seahawks.
No.
JSN's a first-rounder. Devin Witherspoon's a first-rounder. Byron Murphy II is a first-rounder. Gray Zabel is a first-rounder. You've got first-rounders from other teams on your team. You've got, high second-rounders. Nick Imanwari could have been a first-rounder, but he was a safety. If he was a corner, or if, you know what I mean? Part of that is also positional value, with safeties not typically being drafted in the first round. These are players that are exceptional talents, and John Schneider even mentioned that. Don't look at me just disagreeing to be difficult. John Schneider also talked about, and Michael Bennett when he was in here, that the 2013 Seahawks had a chip on their shoulder because, frankly, a lot of them weren't drafted as high as this past year's Seahawks. Now, both teams went on to win Super Bowls. You can do it in different ways, but I tend to be more worried about a team that loses talent, and you are more likely to find talent with those first-round picks, second-round picks, guys that are proven Pro Bowlers and proven NFL talent.
Yeah, you need some college standouts.
I'm just saying, you do. Most teams have those guys.
You can't have a team full of Ty Okadas. Ty Okada can fit in and do his job and excel, but you know how lucky you got to be to find an undrafted guy at Montana State to start for your team and be like a Pro Bowl type of guy. I'm like, you stumbled across Drake Thomas. You know what I'm saying? He was a castaway for the Raiders, I believe he played for. You can't have a team full of first rounders. You need a team with some first rounders, and you sprinkle in everybody else. And if it's the right mix and the right offense, right philosophy, right teaching, then you win championships.
Yeah, I know we just got on a random tangent about how teams are built and how much coaching versus personnel matters, but I love this conversation. We do have to keep it moving to headline rewrites, so let's go.
Extra, extra,
Headline rewrite.
Must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Dolphins are trading receiver Jalen Waddle to the Broncos for pick number 30, a third-rounder, and a fourth in this year's draft. What's the real headline?
Check this out, Bump. His name is Jalen Waddle, but I bet he'll be sprinting out of Miami.
Got him!
Nice.
Get it?
Well played.
Because waddling.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
It's a way to walk.
It's a form of movement.
It's a form of movement, but then sprinting out of Miami. Because Miami,
form of movement.
Miami sucks.
Yeah, they do.
Waddle is fast.
Waddle is fast, so it's ironic.
Nice.
Jokes
Stacey.
are better when you explain them. What do you think about the Broncos landing Waddle?
I like the move, man. Now you got Cortland Sutton over there, Tony Franklin. You got Waddle, Mims as well. If Bo Nix plays against the New England Patriots, I think they win that ball game. I really do. So what do you do for a guy who's shown that he's competent, he can play in this league, is you go ahead and you get him even more weapons, man. 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions last year, completed 63% of his passes. He plays on a team where he doesn't have to do everything. He just needs to be like a Sam Darnold over there with that defense. Good move, man. Denver Broncos should be favored in the AFC West to at least start the season. We'll see what happens once Mahomes gets healthy.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Team USA takes on Venezuela in tonight's World Baseball Classic Final. What's the real headline?
Not since a trip to the Woodland Park Zoo have I seen an elephant in the room this big.
Right? Of all teams to square up.
I mean, the thing is with the WBC,
This is crazy.
there's always this weird political thing that announcers are going to have to dance around with several meetings between countries, but this one especially.
This is what I need. I need USA's finest fans out. I'm talking about the guys who drink 8 beers before they walk into the ballpark. The guys who are tailgating, who are just rowdy as heck, who don't wear shirts under their jerseys. You know what I mean? I need the raunchiest USA fans out there because Venezuela's going to be popping. I don't know if y'all watched the game last night, but their fans are into it, and we don't need some noise. It's going to be a home game for Venezuela, but we can make some noise there.
I very, very eager to watch this tonight, and to keep this moving, I am taking a point from you, Curtis. You said I need to see Cal get a hit tonight.
Yeah, just get a base
For
hit.
vibes.
Get a double, maybe.
You know what I mean? If he doesn't, I'm not going to read into it. And there have been a lot of star players that haven't had great springs. Or, just the other day we were talking with Ryan Divish, and we said, who's standing out to you in the WBC? And he was like, I guess Dom Canzone looked pretty solid. But it's spring. No one's going to look great. And if they do, it doesn't matter. However, I think that outside of the entire conversation we had about Randy, there are a lot of Yankees fans that were like routinely still rooting against Cal because they just didn't like the MVP discourse. And so it hasn't helped that like not only has Cal not gotten a hit, but Dodger Will Smith has.
Yeah, and there's this narrative that's grown that like Cal's not clutch.
Yeah,
it's like, are you kidding me? He is one of the most clutch hitters in all of baseball. Right. Yahoo Sports, before the semifinals, tweeted Team USA manager benched Alex Bregman and Cal Raleigh, who's hitless in the WBC for the semifinals against the Dominican Republic. It's like, yeah, because they've been alternating Will Smith and Cal Raleigh every single day. It was Will Smith's start day. Like, Cal was not benched. They've just been rotating him to get him their work in.
That's what I'm saying. And not only that, but I think around baseball, people fairly and understandably expect a regression, but what kind of regression? Are you thinking that Cal Raleigh so fundamentally changed himself as a hitter, being able to hit from both sides, that now instead of getting 30 home runs a year, which he did for 3 seasons prior to 60 last year, he can maybe get 40 or 45, that's his new ceiling? Great, that's fantastic. That's a monumental season from a catcher. He would still be leading all catchers in home runs. It would just be for a 5th consecutive season. Or you're a Yankees fan who thinks that he's a nobody because you hadn't heard about him before, and that after this 60 home run season, he's going to get barely 20. And I do think that baseball fan exists, and they are having a great time watching this WBC right now.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3. J.P. Crawford is going to see a specialist about his shoulder. What's the real headline?
And Randy and Cal are expected to see a peer mediator.
Write out your feelings.
I was a peer mediator in 8th grade.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you mean, what? Why do you sound... I'm a problem solver. I'm emotionally in tune with people and observant. So I helped my peers solve their problems. We used lots of...
in 8th grade?
What kind of 8th grade problems are we talking about?
You know, it would just be, so I feel blank when blank, right? And so you would have to sit and you would have to guide the conversation between your two.
I feel embarrassed when my zit pops on my forehead.
I feel angry when you say this, and so we had to guide the conversations. Yeah.
I don't think peers should be happy. There should be peer mediating.
I think Stacey wanted to be a peer mediator because she wanted to get into everybody's mess. Tell me about your mess, everybody.
No, HIPAA.
I don't think 8th graders are qualified to be peer mediators.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I think...
But you've lived with a couple of 8th graders.
Yeah, they're definitely not qualified.
But what about with other 8th graders?
No, even then, they're not qualified. There should be no peer mediating until you're like in college or something.
I feel like, if I remember correctly, there was an adult in the room also.
Okay, that makes me feel better about it.
I think the point was, why? You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, why did they have us do this? Because that's kind of weird. That is weird to bring in another 8th grader and be like, okay, you're going to guide this conversation.
Exactly. And then to your friends at your lunch table, were you like, you're never going to guess what Becky told me she was doing.
No, that would require having friends to sit with at a lunch table.
Darn.
I was an independent worker, but a future therapist, I think.
A future therapist.
If you use I feel statement.
No.
You feel frustrated that my middle school.
That's the weirdest thing. I don't know if you guys ever been a therapist, but like you go to a therapist.
Yeah.
And you got to like talk like that.
Yeah.
And it was so hard for me at first. Like, this is whack. It was like, what are we doing? Then by a month in, I'm like, yeah, man, so this is how I feel.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Just loosen up.
I have done therapy. I think therapy is really helpful for a lot of people. But what I find in my own therapy sessions is, as a people pleaser and perfectionist, I wait for her to tell me that I'm actually the best client she has. I'm like acing therapy. So unfortunately, I'm falling into a trap here. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, one observation about the Seahawks offense that might surprise you.
9 out of 10 experts agree wearing earbuds at work is the universal signal for leave me alone. So grab the earbuds, pull up the Seattle Sports app, and trade that annoying coworker's endless yapping for this.
He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Listen to every Mariners spring training game live for free, only on the Seattle Sports app. Improving lives through Mariners baseball, one
sparkling play by Josh Naylor
at a time.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Spring Sale and get 35% off paints and stains March 13th through the 23rd. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
There's nothing better than having a big fish on your line. Make this the year you take that unforgettable fishing trip to Queen Charlotte Lodge. Time is running out for summer bookings. Experience a luxury resort and amazing fishing with your buddies, family, father, or son. King salmon runs, halibut, and lingcod are always plentiful. Book your stay at fishqcl.com and use code ESPN. Experience fishing first class. Experience fishqcl.com.
The brackets are now open. Compete in the Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Head to seattlesports.com/win to pre-register. Receive your bracket and compete for your shot at great prizes. The grand prize winner from the 64-team bracket will win $1,000 in Visa gift cards. But if your bracket is busted in the first round, we have other ways for you to play too. Register and find complete rules at seattlesports.com/win.
This is Brock Eward. Seastar Restaurant and Raw Bar is celebrating 24 years as Bellevue's go-to for fresh, seasonal seafood, and me and my families as well. My good friend Chef John Howie delivers excellence behind every single plate, and it doesn't matter. Local oysters, sushi, cedar plank salmon, generous portions, polished service, and meals that become lasting memories. Right now, 3-course dinners in the lounge, starting at just $50. Seastar, the dining experience you remember. SeastarRestaurant.com.
Hey, what a surprise. We got tons of rain here in the Northwest in the late winter into the spring. It all adds up. Now's the time of the year when the ground becomes completely saturated with water, and that can cause real problems in your crawl space. It's Mike Salk here, and groundwater intrusion in crawl spaces, it's pretty common, but it's got to be addressed before it causes structural damage or even worse, toxic mold in your home. You don't want any part of that. That's why if you're worried about any groundwater in your crawl space, you call Crawl Pros and you get a free corner-to-corner inspection. They'll climb into that crawl space, see what the condition is. They will go where you don't want to, definitely where I didn't want to. They came to my house and handled all this stuff. If they find water, they'll install a groundwater drainage system and a sump pump and reroute that water outside your home's footprint where it belongs. Don't take the risk. Do what I did. Have Crawl Pros come out for that free corner-to-corner inspection. They'll even check your attic at the same time. If you're worried that anything is going on with your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Don't miss 3 Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League Baseball.
This could be 2. JP has it, goes to the bag, steps on second, fires to first, double play.
Broadcast times at seattlesports.com.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett, with more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're #1.
It's WFC 190 World Fighting Championship at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Saturday night, April 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy professional mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing mixed martial arts event. WFC 190 World Fighting Championship, April 25th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. So glad, so thankful that Molly and I made the call. Had heard so many First Mark Challenge victories, we needed to take that challenge. What does happen from your perspective when that caller, when that email, when that person reaches out to you for a First Mark Challenge victory?
That's a great question. So there's several steps we go through in the process. The first step is we're going to gather information, find out all we can about that client and what their needs are. The next step is we will go out to the market. We have dozens and dozens of carriers that will compete for the business. At the end of that process, we will then bring those findings back to the customer, show them what we found, and who the eventual winner was in that competition.
And it may be who they're with.
It might be, yes. And sometimes that's the best we can do is recommend they stay where they are, but maybe modify a few coverages to put them in a better position.
So go take that challenge today. Go be the next First Mark Challenge victory. It costs you nothing, and they will be there with you every step of the way. FirstMarkInsurance.com. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hawk blogger, a.k.a. Brian Nemhauser, had a really interesting tweet the other day. He said, the Seahawks return all 13 offensive linemen from their 2025 roster. Obviously, you have your main starters with Cross, Zabel, Sundell, Bradford, Lucas, but also bringing back a ton of guys. Olu, your rookie Mason Richmond, Christian Haynes, who's been competing at right guard, Amari Kite, and Josh Jones, who filled in relief of Charles Cross. And I thought it would be a good place to start to look at something that was not just entering last year, Bump, but for the last 10 years, a massive question in Seattle, for the first time in a long time, is having some really interesting consistency. And you saw a much more improved performance last year.
Yeah, we did. It wasn't always great. Right?
It definitely has not been always great.
Start off a little shaky, but I think that's what we assumed, right, is that the offense would get off to a slow start, which it didn't, right? It came out, minus the first game, came out firing, but we felt like, all right, this scheme is going to allow this offensive line to take strides, to get better. And I think most of us felt it was going to be a process. You're not just going to hop out week 1, 2, 3, 4 and just offense is on point, ready to go. It's about teaching. That's something that Mike McDonald really focused on when he came to developing his staff and this offensive line. It's like, we got to teach these guys this new scheme. And he felt like the Kubiak scheme would highlight what some of these guys are best at. So as the season progressed, they got better and better. I think the relationship between them and the running backs got better too, because it's a two-person dance. I know the O-line gets a lot of flack sometimes, and the running backs do as well, but they kind of got to be on the same page, right? Linemen got to get to their guys, running backs got to set up the blocks, and then you mesh it all together. So the fact that they're bringing back everybody means that they felt like there was enough improvement to where they still see some potential for growth. So I think that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. We'll see what PFF and all these guys say when it comes to preseason rankings or whatnot. I believe, according to PFF, the Hawks finished like 15th when it comes to offensive linemen. To start the season, they were at the bottom with, I want to say, the New England Patriots at like 28, 29 or something
Crazy.
Like that. So
especially with the Patriots.
With the Patriots, right? And there's been some improvement. So no, if they feel comfortable bringing everyone back, then that tells me that they see connection and they saw enough improvement.
Now, related to this point, take a listen to this interview. It was with Jared Verse talking to Max Crosby on The Rush.
I get Seattle this. I don't with them at all. Man, the second time we played them, I was about to whoop one of their O-linemen's ass. And all 5 of their ass came up on my head.
Which is how O-linemen should respond.
That's how they should respond. I love that shit. I was like, y'all, but like, I respect that shit.
That's so true, though. When you can feel that, like, togetherness, definitely. And when they're not like that, like you try somebody or you smack the quarterback and the O-line just kind of looks, I'm like, oh, yeah, we got him.
Look, all due respect to offensive linemen, they're not always the sexiest position to talk about, right? Mm-hmm. They don't always dominate headlines. When offensive linemen are drafted, even when they're, top overall picks or near the top of the draft, people don't spend nearly as much time talking about them as they do a more exciting wide receiver or edge rusher, of course, a quarterback. But this is sexy.
No, I like it. Linemen are supposed to be the most connected group on a football team. They are. And the reason why they are is because one job directly affects another. Someone misses a slide, you put your guard or your tackle, you leave them out to dry. If the running back misses his pass pro, right, O-line can make up for it. There's just so many ways that these guys are connected because of their position that they usually are the protectors.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I remember being in a club one time in Pullman. Big ups Mike's. Anybody used to go to Mike's back in the day, you walk downstairs, go to the dungeon. And I had a couple homies who were offensive linemen, and for some reason, some dudes just chirping at me. It's chirp, 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 chirp. And I'm like, whatever. And then he starts walking towards me, and all of a sudden, two big arms from behind me just reach out in front and put their hands on the dude's chest. Boom. And I look back, it's 2'6'5" offensive linemen. I'm sitting there like, yeah, what's up? You know, that's just the personality of offensive linemen. They're together, and they're protectors. So the fact that Verse is talking about, look, I ran up on one of them, and all five of them jumped on me. I'm like, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. If your offensive line ain't operating like that, yeah, go buy a new one.
Well, and combine that with Brian's tweet, right? The Seahawks are returning all 13 offensive linemen from last year's roster. That is a tight-knit group. That's a group of starters that are getting a ton of experience together and a group of backups getting experience together. Everyone knows everyone. You want a close-knit group. Seattle hasn't. Now, I'm not speaking to the closeness of rooms. I'm sure Seattle has had offensive line rooms that are close, like as people. But that combination of a really tight room that has each other's backs and also they're performing. I mean, let's take you back to the start of last year, guys. I think that a lot of people worried a little bit about the addition of Sam Darnold because they thought, well, God, in addition to Sam just struggling in the final two games that he had with the Vikings, the interior offensive line fell apart, right? Like that was also a big part of the reason the Rams completely obliterated them in the playoffs. Did anyone feel really confident about the interior offensive line heading into last year, particularly before the draft when you didn't know that they'd take Gray Zabel or use that first overall pick on a guard? It was all we were talking about.
Even after you got Gray Zabel, you're still like, all right, well, he's a rookie.
Right.
Let's see.
What are my expectations?
Even though offensive linemen, I've seen rookies come in and just fit right in, but you still never know, right? The questions with Zabel, one, he's a rookie. Two, the school he went to, the competition.
Mm-hmm.
Would he be able to withhold just a full season or withstand a full season, excuse me. And he did. He played in every single game. So the feeling that we had going into last season is going to be completely different from this one. And I still think there's room for improvement. I think Anthony Bradford got better throughout the year, even though he still had his moments. I think Sundell showed more athleticism. They allowed him to pull more. They started using him in different type of schemes. Abe showed that he can stay healthy. That was going to be a knock on him. Charles Cross was consistent enough there. So I like where this team is going into this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that you still bring in some competition, which they will. I think I saw 2 new names on that list that Brian put out near the bottom of that thing. Who are those 2 names? You got Federico Moranguez. I don't know if he was here last year or not.
Mm-hmm.
And Logan Brown. Those 2 names I'm just not familiar with. But if they were here, hey, welcome back.
Well, I wanted to ask a quick follow-up while we still have time. What do you think changed for Seattle, if anything? Because for a long time they struggled with the offensive line, and it wasn't for a lack of trying, something John Schneider would certainly say. I mean, they used a first-rounder on Jermaine Ifedi. They traded for Dwayne Brown. They got guys later in the draft, of course, but so too is Anthony Bradford, who's one of your starters. Jalen Sundell is one of your starters, right? Like only Zabel and Charles Cross are first rounders. Like it's not like you have an offensive line full of first rounders, so that's not the difference. But what changed?
With offensive linemen, it's mostly feel and timing of things, especially in this zone concept, because you have to. There's always going to be double teams, right? And depending on the leverage of that defensive lineman, one of the offensive linemen who are on that double team got to climb to that backer, depending on the leverage of the D lineman and then the shades of the linebackers. But either way, there's a timing that has to happen, right? And sometimes it's 1,000, 2,000, boom, we climb. Sometimes it's 1,000, dang, I got to go. Sometimes that backer's walking down. Now I just give you my post hand that I'm getting to that backer right now. So the more reps you have with the same offensive line, the more continuity and feel that you get. You know, this unspoken language that these guys have to play with. That's harder than what people think. So I think once their timing was on point and their technique got better, especially with Anthony Bradford, that's when we started to see, these big runs, big gains. And then it gets the running back to trust the offensive line too. Like, all right, it is zone right. I'm going to stretch it right as far as I can because I believe the time is going to be on point. They're going to take care of that backer, and I'll be able to get some lanes going. Timing and unspoken language.
JP's going to see a shoulder specialist. What's it mean for the start of the season? That's next.
Having one of those days where a little of this would make things so much better?
Fastball, strike three called. He got him looking. How about that for a Cactus League debut? Cade Anderson striking out the side.
We got you. You can stream every Mariners spring training game live for free on the Seattle Sports app. Making lives better through Mariners baseball, one
Goodbye baseball
at a time. Home of your American League West champion Mariners.
P&D Tree Service, local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. If you were hit hard by the storm, P&D Tree will remove trees and clean up while minimizing impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service, any job, big or small. Safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeService.com.
Your old water heater's starting to peter. DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Opening day is just days away, and we want to send you and a friend to experience it like never before. Get front row access to the opening ceremonies, player introductions, first pitch, and more, all from the field. To enter, just open the Seattle Sports app and hit the Win tab. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Better Hustle contest runs through March 18th from the home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports. Don't miss the all-sound plumbing Mariners Cactus League report. Tuesday nights at 6. Going inside Mariners camp on the home of the American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Every business starts with an idea. With smart business buying from Amazon Business, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place. From office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Ready to bring your visions to life? Learn how at AmazonBusiness.com.
Do you have at least 1 month worth of food in your pantry? If not, you should definitely go to mypatriotsupply.com right now. My Patriot Supply is America's #1 supplier of long-term storable food. They've helped over 3 million Americans get prepared. And for a limited time, when you order their best-selling 4-week food supply, you'll get an additional week of food absolutely free. There's no catch, but act fast because this offer ends soon. Claim your free emergency food kit now at mypatriotsupply.com. That's mypatriotsupply.com.
This is Brock Eward. Seastar Restaurant and Raw Bar is celebrating 24 years as Bellevue's go-to for fresh, seasonal seafood, and me and my family's as well. My good friend, Chef John Howie, delivers excellence behind every single plate, and it doesn't matter. Local oysters, sushi, cedar plank salmon, generous portions, polished service, and meals that become lasting memories. Right now, 3-course dinners in the lounge, starting at just $50. Seastar, the dining experience you remember. SeastarRestaurant.com.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. Final tryouts for adults ages 18 to 65 and older are this Sunday, March 22nd at Interlake High School in Bellevue. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-little leaguers in high school to former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Can I quickly start by saying something unrelated to the Mariners before I get to more pressing news? Is anyone else kind of on like a fitness kick? I know that sometimes when the new year starts, we're already in March, but some people get really into like, yeah, I'm going to eat healthy. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not like into a fitness kick, but I do like finding recipes. What's up with the love for cottage cheese? What's up with cottage cheese being, you know what I'm saying?
Isn't it a good fat?
It's fine, but I'm telling you, I'll be like, this banana bread, whatever. So first, it's so delicious. First, you want to get 5 cups of cottage cheese. No, that's disgusting. I saw one for buffalo chicken dip. It was like, so good. First, you need 4 cups of cottage cheese. I'm so sick of cottage cheese being in every single recipe that looks good and people being like, you won't believe it. It tastes just like a Reese's cup. You need cottage cheese, peanut butter. Shut up. I'm so sick of it. I was looking at a recipe during the break, obviously, and I don't know if anyone else sees cottage cheese recipes everywhere, but I'm sick of people's love for cottage cheese. It's disgusting. It's not yogurt. It's not cheese. It's not milk. I don't know what it is. It's gross. I don't like it.
I like Greek yogurt.
Were we talking about that?
Nah, but that's what I see. I see Greek yogurt as
Bump contributing
as
a
a substitute for stuff. You know, like sour cream. Like, use Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt.
I thought about you the other day. I was walking Lukey and it was raining, but it was kind of bright. You know, when it's like sunny but rainy, and I thought, and it was cold, and I was like, I'm kind of squinting, like. I want to wear sunglasses, but am I going to look weird? And I remembered, Curtis, do you remember this? I remembered when you said that you didn't wear sunglasses until you were an adult.
That's right.
Yeah.
The first time you wore sunglasses because, quote, you didn't think you could pull it off.
I could pull it off. No. Because I feel like when you wear shades, sometimes you just look like you're trying to be cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you do. Sure.
Yeah, but now I just don't care. As an adult, I'm like, I don't care. But as a kid, I'm like, I don't want to look like I'm trying to be cool.
But you grew up in L.A. There weren't moments when like a 13 or a 16-year-old bump was like, that's pretty bright.
Nah, you just those are young guys.
Yeah.
Those young guys can handle it. These older guys, struggle.
You said, I'm not, it's not my style.
No, but
it's
now,
just not for me.
Man, it could be 50 degrees outside, a little bit of sun, those shades are on.
Okay, well, that's what I should have done because it was very bright, but I immediately thought of you and I started laughing to myself, thinking like this is how Bump felt as a kid, where he was like, it's pretty bright, but I can't, it just doesn't work for me. Let's get to stuff that matters. The latest from Justin Hollander. JP's going to see a shoulder specialist. This from Ryan Divish. This is the quote from Hollander. He's asked about his concern level on J.P. Crawford's shoulder. Not high. My concern level is that we do the right thing right now, so he's not battling every couple weeks feeling uncomfortable. But I don't have concerns that we're headed towards like a surgical option or something like that. No one thinks that's the case right now. We want to make sure we're getting him going in the right direction, and it's not something that lingers. So again, going to see a shoulder specialist, which if you were to just tell me that, I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But then this quote from Justin Hollander saying, you know, we're not gearing up for surgery or something. We're just wanting to make sure.
You know what I don't know? I don't know Justin Hollander enough when it comes to injuries. You know how like
with Pete, you
yeah,
could kind of get a
you
feel
kind of
for
tell
it.
like
Yeah.
it's just a bit more serious or nah, they're gonna be okay. With Justin, I can't put my finger on it yet, and it's probably because most of the injuries that we have dealt with have been like during the season, and you kind of just move on real quick or bring somebody up, let's get it. Now before the season starts, this is a bit different. I'm concerned, one, just because it's JP, and JP's not a young spring chicken anymore. And when these injuries start to pop up, you just hope they don't linger. And it sounds like they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do, so it doesn't linger. My other concern is I just don't want to ruin the young Emerson. I just don't want to do it. And I know baseball is full of failure. You fail more than anything in baseball. But I don't want to see these young men fail that quickly. Like you know that. And maybe he comes down and he balls out. There's a lot of people on the text line saying, oh, he's better than JP right now. One, how do you know? You go to all his minor league games. Like, how do you know he's better than JP right now? Higher ceiling, you know what I'm saying? Higher floor. But I would say better right now. No, there's things that JP has been through. But, yeah, those are my concerns. How serious is it, Hollander? I can't figure you out yet. And then I don't want to ruin the young man.
Speaking of Colt Emerson, another tweet from Ryan Divish. He says, look, for anyone going to buy a Colt Emerson jersey for opening day, there's no guarantee he's going to be your starting shortstop if JP can't go. They could also piece it together with Leo Rivas if they think it'll be just a short stint. So, yes, Colt Emerson is central to their future plans.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean he's central to their March 26th plans.
No. And that makes me feel a little better. Rivas, you put him anywhere, man. Rivas can be the third base coach right now. Rivas can do whatever you ask him to do. I feel more comfortable with him out there. Rivas has had his moments in the league already. Has come through clutch several times. You play him in multiple positions. Yeah, I like that. Even though it's a bit more attractive to have Emerson, first game introduced, crowd going crazy, right? They would love to see that, but it ain't about y'all. It ain't about the fans. It's about what's best for the organization.
I mean, look, you could still theoretically see him. Let's say there's a world where JP is down for more than a week or even 2 weeks, like a 14-day stint or something. You could still see Colt out there. It's just not going to be your everyday starter, and that doesn't mean anything bad about Colt Emerson. It means that it's a tough transition, and this is a year for the first time in a really long time for the Mariners where every month does matter. Yeah. Every week does matter. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be over 500 every month, consistently getting better. You don't have to be the best version of yourself in March and April, but you can't afford to get yourself in a hole. So you want to go with what helps you win now. It's a delicate balancing act that they're going to have to do. We also got an encouraging update on Bryce Miller. This from Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer. She said Miller threw what looked like a full bullpen, and it appears all went well, mixed in his pitches.
Good news. All right, because before that, didn't we just hear that anyway, that was
that it could be not starting.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good to hear, man. Bryce Miller would love to have him nice and healthy. That's the main thing is that rotation. I think with the position players, one guy out, you can kind of weather the storm, and you can with one guy out with the rotation. But you talk about finishing 500 or above 500 every month. It starts with these guys. So good news that that Bryce is throwing all his things.
Someone speaking of, you mentioned, you could always tell when Pete talked about an injury. Joe in Bellevue said, if Pete Carroll said the injury was legit, it was serious. If Pete Carroll said he's got a real shoulder, that guy was dead. Like, he was no longer with us. If he said, no, he's got a legit hip, we're going to keep an eye on it.
Legit hip.
He's done playing forever. He had one leg. That was what that meant. Also, someone had the audacity to tell me I have bad taste in food because cottage cheese is bomb. I don't know if big cottage cheese is paying you. It's one thing if I come out here and say pizza isn't good and you're like, horrific take. Cottage cheese is not something everyone is anyone's favorite food on this planet. Cottage cheese.
It's a compliment.
Anyone, anywhere.
It's a compliment to other things. It's not like, oh, I need some cottage cheese.
I think it's something to keep other things humble. Like, it makes the less good version of other things. Oh, buffalo chicken dip, but with cottage cheese. Like, it's the less thing? Good. Yes, these fitness influencers are fitting cottage cheese into all kinds of meals, and it's getting out of hand. It's going into desserts now.
No,
it's ridiculous.
Really?
Yes, it is. I just saw like 5 different things. these fitness people are putting cottage cheese into everything. It's saturating all of our foods, and someone has to put a stop to it. Okay? I think big cottage cheese is out here paying people to go do this.
If cottage cheese said, Stacy, we got a commercial for you, we'll pay you for it.
Oh, yeah, I love cottage cheese. I eat cottage cheese for breakfast. I pour milk over it like cereal. So good.
Goodness gracious.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, checking in with the Seahawks with NFL Network analyst Mark Ross.
9 out of 10 experts agree wearing earbuds at work is the universal signal for leave me alone. So grab the earbuds, pull up the Seattle Sports app, and trade that annoying coworker's endless yapping for this.
He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Listen to every Mariners spring training game live for free, only on the Seattle Sports app. Improving lives through Mariners baseball, one
sparkling play by Josh Naylor
at a time.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and if you're somebody with joint pain, this will be of interest to you. This Thursday night at 6 p.m., Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
Hi, it's Dave Wyman, and this live webinar is a great education on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
Whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, knee, or even wrists and ankles, this live webinar will explain the procedure and how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells.
Learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
Go pain-free in 2026. Join his free live stem cell webinar this Thursday night at 6 p.m.
Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
A rising blast, left field, grand slam, Rosarena.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
Well, this is pretty fun for me. Normally, Shannon O'Kelly and I are talking physical therapy, but today we are talking First Mark Insurance. You made the call to First Mark. You took the challenge. Why?
Brock, I was looking for a local agency that I could align with similar values, and they've helped us here at IRG. They shop different plans. They find the best plan for you, the best price, the best coverage, great customer service, and great connectivity.
Did they save you any money along the way?
Absolutely, they saved us money. Obviously, here at IRG, I have several needs in the insurance industry, and they look at those needs A to Z, and they find out what kind of coverage you need, what is the best coverage, at what cost, and they're always looking to save money. And again, it's all about providing my company, IRG, great customer service.
Well, Shannon and IRG, they took the challenge. Molly and I, we took the challenge. Are you confident that your business is getting the very best when it comes to your insurance needs? If not, take the First Mark Challenge today, and it's totally free. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com, your teammate that goes to work for you. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS4KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Denver Broncos added another weapon for Bo Nix. They sent the 30th overall pick to the Dolphins for Jalen Waddle. It's their first outside edition of the offseason. They were the last team to do so. Tonight, Team USA takes on Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic Final. First pitch at 5 p.m. in Miami.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Talking free agency and the draft with NFL Network analyst Mark Ross joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Mark, how's it going?
Outstanding. How are y'all?
We are fantastic. It's been obviously so fun to talk about the Seahawks. Primarily, our offseason is circled on how they get back there, but we're starting out with a few losses. So I guess my first question is going to be, and you would know this, obviously, how front offices operate. When you are a team that didn't have a lot of holes entering the offseason, is free agency always a little bit different for you?
Oh, of course. Yeah, when you have a good foundation, you're really being selectively targeting players. And, for Seattle, that's the gift and the curse of winning a Super Bowl. You usually win the Super Bowl because you got a ton of good players, but you can't keep them all. But as long as you have that foundation, and that's why you have to draft as well as possible so you don't get desperate in free agency. If you look at the inverse relationship of free agency and winning teams, most of the teams that you saw super active in free agency, let's say Tennessee or the Raiders, were bad teams that had a ton of money, and the better teams, the Seattles of the world, didn't make a ton of moves because you don't have to, because you have that foundation.
I would assume that during the offseason, when you start looking at these free agents, teams are constantly adjusting, right? Because I found myself doing that. I was looking at, okay, would I rather keep Kobe Bryant or Rashid Shaheed? And I go, all right, I'd rather keep Kobe Bryant. Kobe's gone, so I'm like, all right, now let's shift to Rashid Shaheed. How do you think the Hawks got to the place where they were willing to offer $3 or $51 million to Rashid?
Yeah, so just, running it back, this is something that teams do throughout the whole season, where they have a board, your draft board. Essentially, you hear about draft boards, but it's the same with free agents. It's the same, with your own team, where you're constantly evaluating who you have, what contracts are coming up, what you need. So this was an ever-evolving process with John Schneider and his crew knew going into it who was going to be expendable and who they wanted to keep. So in my mind, when I looked at what they've done and how they've drafted in the past, there's no panic for him. And I can go find me another safety. But Rashid Shaheed, there's only a couple people in the league can do what he does. So that's, to me, the mindset from the outside looking in, looking at the Hawks. When they made the trade for Shaheed, I was like, this is a potential to put them over the top. It did, part of that as well. And so moving forward is who can provide this impact in the league outside of him? It's nobody. So to me, that's how they prioritize what they were doing and how they were moving the money and valuing the money and the players that they had, and then also who was on the market.
John Schneider has had an incredibly successful tenure here in Seattle with 3 Super Bowl visits and 2 championships, and he's done it with 2 different head coaches, which is absolutely unbelievable. But there was a period of time, Mark, as you know, I would say like maybe 2013, 14, a little bit of 15, where he was getting some flack for some of those picks. It was first-round picks that weren't working, blockbuster trades that didn't really result in like additional Pro Bowls for those players or anything. And so he was getting some flack and some criticism. Now, he ended up turning it around and mounting great draft classes. And look, the draft is kind of a lottery anyways, so you can't be too upset for a couple struggles. But it was making me think about ways that GMs have to evolve. And if I could ask John Schneider like an off-the-record question, it would be like, in what was the toughest way that you had to evolve? When you look at NFL front offices, let's say in the early 2000s, right? 2000, 5 to 10, around there. How have GMs had to evolve, and what's led other GMs to kind of get left behind?
Well, the big thing for John Schneider is the owner stuck with him. So if he had got rid of him during that time, who knows if he would have got another chance, and who knows if he'd ever had a chance to build it. It reminds me, because I live in Philly and I work for the Eagles, of how with the Eagles with Howie Roseman, where, he got ran out of there and they brought him back, and Jeffrey Lurie stuck with him through the good and the bad. So that's the continuity that you're looking for, and the support from ownership. So John Schneider was afforded that grace to say, we're going to stick with you through these tough times. We believe in you moving forward, where so many other times we can just look at those other bad teams. Here's 2 years, now you got to go. So, but the good GMs always have to constantly evolve and learn, when analytics came in, and now what's the next phase of that, on-field speeds versus combine. So you're always, whatever these new technologies are coming on, you have to learn and adjust and adapt to say, okay, what did we get right? What did we get wrong? How do we get better moving forward? But again, that all has to do with having stability and able to keep your job through those times.
I didn't know who Emmanuel Wilson was when the Hawks first picked him up, but I went and watched film, and I like what he brings to the table. Obviously, with Zach Charbonnet being injured, you expected to bring some guys in. What have you seen out of Emmanuel? What do you know of Emmanuel Wilson, and how do you think the Hawks will and should approach the draft when it comes to running backs?
Yeah, they need more. Look, Emmanuel Wilson's a tough guy, a scrappy guy, but he can't be your one, certainly. I don't even really think he can be your 2. If he's your 3 and a team's guy and rotating in and out of there, that value is much, much better. So I would fully expect them to, Schneider to go through the draft to pick another 1, maybe 2 running backs. And, Charbonnet was coming back 100% healthy. That's, you're the ACL, you just never know what that's going to look like. And even he, to me, was best with Kenneth Walker, not as your main guy. I thought there was a dramatic, a big difference between when those guys were in the game. So, yeah, just go at it again. It's nice to have a veteran presence there, but they'll need more at that position.
Tell us what you think about moves made around the NFC West as we kind of get a feel for what the rest of the division is starting to look like.
You got anything specifically? Or
yeah, specifically I'm looking at the Rams with just like, have they become a team that you'd put above Seattle?
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
the Rams.
yeah.
The 49ers, I think that's a little bit of desperation. I can't think you can count on Mike. Yeah, 33-year-old, for the 49ers, just touching on them first, of a 33-year-old Mike Evans. Those days are long gone. I see how many games he'll make it through. And so, yeah, it's all about the Rams. To me, that they were the 2 best teams last year were Seattle and the Rams, and they proved that with the 3 classics that they played against each other. And, talking about what GMs learn and what they do for Les Snead, he's done it before his way of F those picks, and this is the way we're going to go all in to go get a Super Bowl. And he's like, our corners are terrible. Let me go get some corners. And, you got to give him credit for identifying that. But they're afforded that ability because they've drafted so well and they have so much young talent that, okay, now we've got this money, let's go do it. And if our cap situation, we can navigate that again once like we did before. So I think next year going into it, it'll be even more fun. But now that they're fortified there at the corner spot specifically to see who will come out on top.
Got a couple of starters making some moves. You got Kyler Murray with the Vikings. You got Tua with Atlanta. Sounds like both of their former teams are going to foot the bill when it comes to their contract. Who do you foresee having the better year next year? And do you think one of these guys holds down that QB1 spot for the future?
Yeah, Kyler going into the free agent situation with the quarterbacks was always my number one of all those quarterbacks that who could actually make a difference. Of course, everybody wants to be the next Sam Darnold. That's the new talking point. Who could be the next Sam Darnold? Well, no one will ever be Sam Darnold going up 5 teams and all of that. But for Kyler, this will be his second team. He's still only 28 years old. He's shown you what he could do. It's not any guesswork to say, well, Kyler Murray's never reached, been good or reached his top form. You've seen him. You've seen what he can do. So now you just got to get him back into that in a more stable environment with a lot of other, with the foundation around him, a better supporting cast to bring out the best in Kyler Murray. So, I have high hopes for him in Minnesota just because of that foundation and having Justin Jefferson there, one of the best defenses in the league. That formula is there for him to have a resurgence. Tua, I don't expect much. Even coming out of Alabama when everybody was at the buying high with the market for Tua, I had very, very significant concerns about his game. That kind of got accentuated the more things went on in his career. And then with the injuries, so many of those concussions, he just seemed as if he was a shot player, a shot fighter at that point. Some of the old guys that'll be bouncing around, they're filling positions. The Cardinals, who knows how can you go in the season with Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew? I have no idea. But so the other quarterback deals, I don't think will make a significant change. Kyler could be that one.
Just a kind of a quick follow-up. I know we brought you on to talk about Seattle, but I'm curious. What's this mean about J.J. McCarthy? Is this like punting on J.J. McCarthy? Is it just keeping him there just in case? What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, you invested in him, so you still have to try to save face with J.J., especially when you're a quarterback. I mean, your head coach advocated for him. The GM took the fall for him already. So now you just can't get rid of him at this point. But in doing so, we're going to protect ourselves and go get, Kyler Murray for basically nothing to go compete and see if we can get better. But definitely serious concerns in that building, whether, number one, JJ was the right pick and worth the pick, and number two, if he does have a future as a viable starter.
We saw Trent McDuffie get, $31 million per year. And it got me thinking about Witherspoon. What's he going to cost? If you had to guess what the Hawks are probably going to sign him for, what number would you put on it?
Yeah, whatever they're selling eggs for that day at the grocery store when you go up there, that's what he's going for. The top shelf eggs of when you go to the market. So, yeah, I know. But again, this is something you brace for and you plan for, and how you structure contracts around all your other players is to know that contract is coming up, as well as some other ones as well. And again, the gift and the curse of drafting good players, that you got to pay them.
Bump and I yesterday were talking about, hey, how does Seattle ace the offseason? Is there a move that they could make that would give you even more confidence? Or are you kind of like, look, you won a Super Bowl, you just have to go out there and perform?
Yeah, then they weren't going to have the splashy move. Yeah. It's really about that pick, their first round pick. What's that? That's the most high profile, high value thing that they can do this offseason. There's some other free agents bouncing around there, but none that'll make a significant difference at this point. It's that pick, and because John Schneider has shown I can draft all pro players in all rounds, then that's how they can crush the offseason once again. I joke, in jest about Seattle using them as an example of, all teams, whoever wins the Super Bowl, how can we be like them? I was like, okay, well, just go crush, 4 years worth of draft with all pro players, and then make the best, free agent signings you can. And then, by the way, trade also your trades that you make, go get some more impact players there. So the formula is easy. Just when you want to be like Seattle, just go get impact players with everything you do and with your personnel move.
We just did a segment highlighting that all 13 offensive linemen from last year's team. They're back this year, and that's been a struggle over here for the past several years, just finding your 5 guys that you can trust. Last year to start the season, Hawks were ranked near the bottom when it comes to offensive line. To end the season, depending on where you look, they're towards the middle of the pack when it comes to offensive line. How do you view this line, and how do they take the next step with a new offensive coordinator who should be running some similar schemes?
Yeah, I mean, the schemes, offensive linemen got to block no matter what scheme it's in. So their job is simple, but it's the continuity is really what helps offensive linemen. Like, you don't have to have 5 superstars up there. If you got, one guy who you think is, particularly your left tackle, that's, a high-end blue chip type player, and then you got the other guys that are good, solid players. And then your personnel around it helps. How good your quarterback is helps your offensive line. So for Seattle, it's that continuity will definitely help them. That's what we kind of had in New York with a bunch of those dudes up there play together a lot. And once you do that, everybody's working as one up front. So that's amazing. I didn't know they had all 13 coming, but that's got to be a first time in history that's happened for an offensive
we
line.
couldn't believe it.
Yeah, moving forward, that'll bode well.
He is NFL Network analyst Mark Ross, kind enough to join us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Thanks, Mark. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Mark.
My pleasure.
All right, Super Bowl champions, the 2025 Seattle Seahawks, presented by NFL Films, premieres Wednesday on the Roku channel, providing a look back at the Seahawks championship season. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what did Matt Leinart do that you can relate to?
Matt Leinart, the USC great quarterback, California dude. Nice guy, too, man. Met him a couple times. Good dude. So, USC, you win the Heisman Trophy, your numbers automatically retire. So, SC got like 6 jerseys retired or something like that. So, USC came to him recently and asked him if he can unretire his jersey for a 5-star that was coming in. And he said, absolutely not.
Good for him.
And I agree 100% with him. One, these guys can transfer any moment now. So what, you're going to unretire your number, give it to this kid who's probably going to transfer and go somewhere else and make some money. And the reason why I can't relate, so my jersey's retired at my high school. Some guy that I played with, his son wore that jersey coming up. And he goes, hey, Bump, can you unretire the jersey for my son? I never returned the text.
Did he?
Never returned it.
Did he seem bothered by it? Like, did you hear back?
I don't know. No, I never ran into him after that. It was probably like 4 years ago. Didn't run into him after that. Haven't spoken to him. I'm like, come on. And his son, low-key, wasn't even like that. You know what I'm saying?
What if your son ends up being an accountant? Yeah. Like, so now my jersey got unretired for someone who never even played past JV?
He wasn't even like that. So I felt bad, but I'm like, there's no way I'm unretiring my jersey. So I read the article with Matt. I go, lower level, but I feel you, Matt.
I was always jealous as a swimmer, a 4-year swimmer, but I was always jealous of jersey numbers because I never had a jersey number. So I was always jealous when people had that one number that they just identified with. And it's like, oh, even if they didn't end up playing like past college or in college even, like they just were always like, oh, well, I was number 5, right? Yeah. Or I was number 11 or I was whatever. I just was always really jealous about that.
You guys just had just lanes, huh? I'm in lane 5. I'm in lane 6.
Well, it depends, right? Like, is this one of your better races or not?
We're the best. The
faster swimmers are in the middle.
So what's that? Like 3, 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Were you ever in 3, 4?
No, because I wasn't a sprinter. I was usually doing fly, and I wasn't like great there. I was just the only person who could do it. And then I would do a 200 meter.
No, thank you.
We can keep talking about swim, but I'm going to move on. Second down. What move did the ops make that makes sense?
It makes sense. It's not as big of a move as I initially thought, because then I went and looked at this guy's production and what he's been doing. But the Niners getting Christian Kirk. So now they got, as of now, their starters. You got Mike Evans, who's going to be great in the red zone. Ricky Pearsall, who I think can be great in the middle of the field. And Christian Kirk, who can be that guy to kind of stretch the defense out. And Christian Kirk, like I said before, he's the reason why these receivers are getting paid all this money. He left Arizona, went to Jacksonville in 2022 and had a good season, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. But then after that, there's been a decline. Played in 12 games, 787, 3 touchdowns. 8 games, 27 and 379, 1 touchdown. Then last year, played in 13 games, only had 28 catches for 239 and 1 touchdown. But with a guy like Christian Kirk can do is kind of like what we want Rashid Shaheed to do. Let's just hold the safety, right? Take the top off, run down the field. We might hit you, we might not. Initially, I thought this was a bigger move than what it was, but it's nothing like having some veteran receivers over there. We'll see how they use him. But Christian Kirk going to the Niners made me perk up just a little bit. Now, let's see how they use him. But they've gotten more mature at that receiver spot for sure.
That's a polite way to say it. Third down. What team will you be watching closely in the draft?
Low-key Miami. And the reason why, Miami. And the reason why is because, all right, they're clearly in rebuild mode, right? They just got rid of Waddle, picked the first rounder. So within their first 3 rounds, have 7 draft picks.
Woo.
All right, they got the number 11 and 30th overall in the first round. And the second round, number 43 overall. Then they have 75, 87, 90, 94. Like, these dudes are going to have some options. This is they set themselves up for a rebuild for sure. If they can hit at the quarterback spot and maybe find 2 or 3 starters here and start that snowball effect, who knows what the Dolphins are going to look like. But it's going to come down to Malik Willis and how he performs, right? But 7 picks in the first 3 rounds. I mean, if I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, which I know one, Derek Bingham, what's up? I'm excited because, yes, you're starting all over. You had a window that you could have capitalized on. You didn't get a chance to do it. But when you have all these draft picks, man, you never really know. So I'm going to be watching the Dolphins and see what moves they make.
4th down. All right, we were joined 20 minutes ago by NFL Network analyst Mark Ross. Anything stand out from that conversation?
Yeah, first I asked him about Wilson. He said a scrappy guy, but the Hawks need more. Doesn't see him as a starter. I don't think any running back on the roster right now is just the guy. You know, they're going to need some help either way. He said he expects Schneider to make 1, maybe 2 running back moves during this draft. I'm like, well, they got 4 picks. Ooh. So what you're telling me is that he's probably going to trade back and get a couple more and maybe get 2 more running backs. Imagine going into there. So right now there are 3 running backs on the roster. You draft 2 more. You're probably going to cut one at the end of the training camp, but you give yourself more options right there. And also the thing he said is that you don't need superstars on the offensive line. And I started to think about all the other positions that the Hawks have or you know, in football. Running back, you had a star. Receiver, you got a star. Linebacker, you got a star. D-line, you got stars up. Defensive backs, you have stars. The O-line, you're right. You don't really, and then no one really knows what a superstar is. Every now and then you get your Lane Johnsons that kind of pop out, your Trent Williams that people know. But for the most part, there's probably about 4 or 5 offensive linemen that people can really name, the common fan can really name in the NFL. So I like that because there's no one on this line that has a really high profile. I think maybe Gray Zabel could get himself up there. I think Abe, just the way that he looks and acts, can get some notoriety. But he's right. You don't need it. So continuity is good. These guys are coming back, and let's see how they develop. But yeah, no stars, no Pro Bowlers on this line, nothing. But you got Super Bowl champions.
Would you rather use a day 3 pick in a trade for Alvin Kamara or a day 3 pick on a rookie in the draft this year? Kamara?
Yeah.
Curtis, what about you? Would you rather use a day 3 pick on a rookie in this draft for running back or use a day 3 pick to trade for Alvin Kamara?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. You already know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I go with it. Like, I understand someone saying, oh, but then you would get 4 years of a rookie. And it's like, yeah, but that's assuming that rookie is great. Like, you just drafted Damian Martinez. He's a Packer now.
Yeah.
That was a day 3 pick that you used on a running back. And look, you've used a day 3 pick on Chris Carson, who ended up being great, gave you 2 1,000-yard seasons. But I'm just saying, you're rolling the dice in the draft no matter what. Alvin Kamara might be 30, but he had 1,400 yards from scrimmage season before last.
Yeah, almost 1,000. All you need from him, if you were to get a guy like Kamara, give me about 700 on the ground, 400 through the air, 8 touchdowns.
That's a great season.
We'll call it good.
Can we ask for less?
7 and 4.
All I need from Kamara, let's say 1,100 yards from scrimmage and 8 touchdowns.
He does that. That's easy work.
Opening day is almost here, and we're sending one of you and a friend to experience it like never before. So imagine getting front row access to the opening ceremonies, player intros, the first pitch, and so much more, all from the field. To enter, all you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, simply text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances. This contest runs through Wednesday, March 18th. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, text, it looks like we got an answer for when the Seahawks will play the NFL's season opener.
Brock and Salk.
I got a text from a friend that said, I'm having a discussion with a buddy.
Morning 6 to 10.
He says the Mariners are better than last year. I told him I'd get your expert opinion. Well, I appreciate being labeled an expert in this case.
Did you answer?
I did answer.
On paper, you would see that this is a more mature team and a complete team.
Brock and Salk. Morning 6 to 10 on the home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With a center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
You got it at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13 and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission, no cash access, and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Heward here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Are you looking for a job or perhaps a better job? We're hiring at Pacific Power Batteries with formal training about batteries of all types, customer service, and safety in the workplace. If you're tired of some crappy job where you are now, visit PacificPowerBatteries.com. After 90 days, you'll be eligible for a paid health insurance premium, a health savings account, our bonus program, paid vacation, and more. Or stop in and talk with a store manager at Pacific Power Batteries, where good people sell reliable batteries. Come on by.
Get broadcast times for every Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League broadcast.
Holy smokes, he does it again!
At SeattleSports.com.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? But do you have a room just sitting empty and you've dreamt of making it your own home gym? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years. And you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do the rest. A complete fitness room design. It's no secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have everything from flooring to weights that go in a home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months, plus mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here to get you in the best shape, so go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
It's WFC 190 World Fighting Championship at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Saturday night, April 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy professional mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing mixed martial arts event. WFC 190 World Fighting Championship, April 25th. At Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Whatever's on your schedule this season, Toyota of Kirkland has your ride. With Tacomas, Tundras, and 4Runners. From Toyota of Kirkland, built for power, capability, and room for all your gear. These models are the perfect teammate for the Northwest adventure. Any of them. Take a test drive today and drive home with your new Toyota that same day. Get your season rolling at Toyota of Kirkland or online at toyotaofkirkland.com. That's toyotaofkirkland.com.
O'Brien. This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It looks like we've got an answer for when the Seahawks will play the NFL season opening game, but it comes with some potential scheduling headaches. So this from Wall Street Journal reporter Joe Flint. He said some small TV news. The first game of the regular season will be on Wednesday night on NBC compared to the usual Thursday night opener. The Melbourne/Melbourne game will be on Thursday, platform TBD. The NFL can't do a Friday game this year on opening week, hence the tweaks. So we have presumably Wednesday night season opener here in Seattle for Seattle, and then the Rams-Australia game the next day on Thursday. Well, the Mariners are currently scheduled to have a 6:40 p.m. first pitch at T-Mobile Park on Wednesday, September 9th, which would be that same day. Also, the Sounders already have a game scheduled for September 9th at Lumen Field at 7:30. So, what now? Where did the Sounders go? The Mariners are going to be out there for opening day in their park. It's going to be chaotic downtown. This whole Wednesday start instead of a normal Thursday game is also messing up other Seattle sports franchises.
This sounds like some girl. Let's go look at his Facebook. Let's dive into his Instagram. Let's look at his X account. You know, this like you're putting all the pieces together. Like you're explaining all this, and I'm just like, I'm drawing a blank right now.
The Seahawks.
There's just too much going on.
There's too much. So the Seahawks. So because the NFL is having the Rams play in Australia, they have two choices. Either the Rams open the season on Wednesday, but that can't happen now. So now the Seahawks have to open the season on a Wednesday, which is not normal, obviously, as you know. The problem with opening the season on a Wednesday is it's not something that the Sounders or Mariners or Seattle sports fans in general were prepared for. So a Thursday night opener at Lumen, great. But now it'll be a Wednesday night opener. The Sounders are scheduled to play at Lumen that same day, and the Mariners are also scheduled for a pitch. Obviously, neighboring T-Mobile, but still, there are fans that would have loved to go to both games that now can't.
Yeah, that's weird. You feel like the Sounders are going to have to get the boot, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or the option does exist that the Seahawks could go on the road.
Which would be horrible for a defending Super Bowl champ to not only open the season on a Wednesday, but on the road against presumably Chicago. That's what we're kind of guessing it'll be.
There's precedent for it, I believe. Yeah, Brent Stecker wrote it up on SeattleSports.com.
What does Brent know?
Well, in 2013, the Ravens were the defending Super Bowl champions, and they had to start their season on the road against the Broncos because the Orioles had a game at nearby
and they
Camden
didn't
Yards.
go back to a Super Bowl. And that's
right.
why.
They haven't been back since.
And that's I'm seeing a little bit of correlation here.
I'm just saying, if worse comes to worse, the Seahawks could end up starting the year out on the road.
That's whack.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the Sounders in any way.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
I mean, you're going to.
I'm being disrespectful to the NFL.
I don't see why the Sounders can't just move their game to the next night.
Yeah, because no one's playing their Thursday.
Yeah.
Up for grabs.
Yeah, Thursday's up for grabs.
I mean, we'll
the Mariners,
find out.
you can move that game to a day game. make it a 110 first pitch or something like that. That way everybody's out of the door by at least, 4:30. Kickoff for the Seahawks is going to be, 5:30-ish?
Is there a reason the Australia game has to be the opening week 1, that's when it's happening thing?
Yes, because they want to give the Rams and 49ers enough time off for their next game because it's like a 19-hour flight.
You know what I don't do? And
So
my business, logistics, I don't handle logistics. I put it through AI or I hire somebody to do it for me.
I blame Pangea. Because if Australia wasn't so far away from the United States,
I was wondering where you're
and
going.
if there was
okay.
an entire ocean, Matt, why do you look disappointed?
The double dose of Bump saying he does everything through AI and then you blaming Pangea.
Did I say everything? Don't twist my words up.
Yeah.
Don't twist my words up. I
Don't
didn't say
twist his
everything.
words.
It's a lot of
Don't
things.
you do
Don't
that.
twist his words. Don't you
do
dare. And I did say that, though. You did clock me with that one. Unfortunately, I'm moving on. So that's the latest is that the Seahawks are expected to open the season on Wednesday, but there are currently a scheduling conflict with the Sounders, and also the Mariners are playing the same night. So keep an eye out.
You know what's
for any
crazy?
updates.
The nerdiest dude in here who believes in Dungeons and Dragons and Star Wars and stuff doesn't use AI.
I believe in Dungeons and Dragons and Star Wars and stuff. What does
Pokemon
that mean?
I don't know, man. It's just I just feel
I
like
don't
you have.
Well, you don't
in any of
believe in
those
dragons.
I feel well, collector. Then how's that? You played the game.
Never played Dungeons and Dragons.
No, Pokemon?
I love Star Wars, but I don't believe in it.
You think
Pokemon?
dragon?
You play Pokemon?
Pokemon.
Pokemon?
You boomer.
Got you.
Pokemon. These Pokemon.
You're 2 seconds away from saying the YouTube.
The Facebook.
Oh, no, that's bad. I'm moving on. A few more NBA legends are weighing in on the historic 83-point performance by Bam Adebayo first. Carmelo Anthony says people don't understand Bump. People don't understand how hard it is to score just 10 points in a game.
80. Yes, sir. I don't care how everybody felt about his 83. He got 83. Yes, sir. Listen, if you ever played this game before, you know how hard it is. You know how hard it is to score 10 points in this league. Yes, sir. 20 points in this league. Yes, sir. 83 points. I don't care who record he played. Bam, I take my hat off to you. You deserve to have the mellow moment this week. 83, you deserve to keep that sign up right there. Don't let nobody take this moment away from you. Yes, sir. Listen, when it's time to go grab the moment, you go grab the moment. And when we talk about history, Bam went out there and grabbed history. It's 83 points in an NBA game. What are we talking about?
You don't let anyone, even and especially Michael Bumpus, take that moment away from you, Bam. Here's Reggie Miller.
I don't care if it's your local church league. You get a chance to go for history, you go for it. And I'm so tired of all these podcasters and all these guys that never played the game talking about, the sanctity and they ruin basketball. I do not care. 83 is 83. And for Coach Spoelstra and for Bam to be getting a lot of hate from this, your hate is misdirected because it should be towards the Washington Generals. I know they're the Wizards, but the way they were playing, they look like the Washington Generals. Okay, and that's where your hate should be.
Bump. Your response.
Hey, those dudes play the game.
They're Hall of Famers.
Reggie Miller, one of the best shooters of all time. Melo, one of the best scorers of all time. Showing their boys some love. That's what's up. 40-something free throws, fellas. 40-something free throws. If the game was being refereed the way it is now, or in that game at least, let's just say in that game, that same way, and Melo was playing and Reggie was playing, they'd probably get 80-something points too. I'm just saying, like some of these calls were crazy. The way that the team, the Heat were fouling towards the end of the game to kind of force the 83. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Bam, like I said, it's your record, good for you, but context is needed. And I think that I respect Miller, I respect Melo. Obviously, they play the game at a level I never played at, Hall of Famers. But y'all just ignoring the fact that they manufactured that 83. It wasn't just we out here competing. We grinding right now. We need this 83. It was like, nah, one, the Wizards were garbage. You put up 30-something in the first quarter. And then the last 8 minutes of the game, you're fouling on purpose to get Bam more possessions. That's my only problem with it. It wasn't in the natural flow of the game. It was, we're going to manufacture this 83.
Do you think anything about Kobe's was manufactured like
Nothing.
that?
Absolutely nothing.
Teammates didn't realize, like,
They were
this is
losing.
happening. We're going to make
They
sure
were
he gets the
lo-
ball because he
What
played.
about in the fourth quarter when they were up by 20?
The
They
Lakers
won that
were
game
losing.
by 20.
The Lakers were losing. They were
In the
losing
first
at some
half.
point. No, first half and
Yes,
into third
in the
quarter.
first half.
Yeah, first half and third quarter. They were losing. They needed Kobe's
won
83.
the game by 20.
It wasn't by 20. It was like 18.
It was, okay,
was
one
18.
basket.
It was
18
18.
and 20 is the same thing.
Did you watch that game?
Kobe's?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you know that they didn't manufacture that. We needed that 83 points.
When you're up by 18,
81, sorry.
things are
81.
pretty much in hand.
Y'all some haters, man.
Y'all, I just asked the question because I knew that you two would go back and forth.
Manufactured. I don't think you really watched that
My
game if
job
you
is to
think
push
that
buttons.
they manufactured that 81 points for Kobe. They were doubling. You hear their coach was like, look, we doubled Kobe. We even thought about tripling him. We couldn't stop him. With Bam, they literally were fouling to get him more possessions. Bam, get your 83.
Is there a
That's what's
point
up.
total that he would have gotten where you're like, that was got the fair way? Like this point
I don't
total
know, maybe
is like,
they started fouling with like 7 minutes left in the quarter.
So, like,
in the fourth,
around there, where all of a
whenever
sudden-
they started fouling.
so let's say like 70 something. No, that would have been a little bit lower than that. So like high 60s, low 70s.
Granted, congratulations to Bam. Let's just not forget how he got that 83.
You're listening to Bump Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, we could have a problem with NBA expansion.
Having one of those days where a little of this would make things so much better?
Fastball strike three called. He got him looking. How about that for a Cactus League debut? Cade Anderson striking out the side.
We got you. You can stream every Mariners spring training game live for free on the Seattle Sports app. Making lives better through Mariners baseball, one
Goodbye, baseball.
at a time. Home of your American League West champion Mariners.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and if you have joint pain, this will be of interest to you. This Thursday night at 6 p.m., Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Learn more about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go pain-free in 2026. Join his free live stem cell webinar this Thursday night at 6 p.m. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ Way.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. Final tryouts for adults ages 18 to 65 and older are this Sunday, March 22nd at Interlake High School in Bellevue. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers in high school to former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
Opening day is just days away, and we want to send you and a friend to experience it like never before. Get front row access to the opening ceremonies, player introductions, first pitch, and more, all from the field. To enter, just open the Seattle Sports app and hit the Win tab. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Better Hustle contest runs through March 18th from the home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports. Don't miss the John Schneider Show, presented by Silver City Brewery.
I truly believe, defense wins championships.
Thursdays at 4, only on Seattle Sports.
Dave Wyman here with Dr. Robert Meyer from Swedish Hospital. Dr. Meyer, tell us about the amazing results prostate cancer patients are getting with Swedish CyberKnife.
Well, at the Swedish CyberKnife, our patients are really satisfied with the experience. The treatment is very effective at eradicating the cancer, has minimal side effects, and we are seeing excellent cancer control 10 years later.
Find out more at swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait, and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett. With more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're #1.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Now that NBA expansion feels very real, let's revisit an old argument against it and figure out if that still holds true. Like, it's one thing when people are having hypothetical conversations and you feel like you're not talking about a team to Seattle, but now we are. So let's revisit them. This is what Draymond Green said a month ago.
Earlier in the show, we spoke about tanking, and there's a third of the teams in the NBA tanking, which means a third of the teams in the NBA suck. So I don't know from a talent and competitive basketball standpoint that expansion is good. Business-wise, incredible. Basketball, talent-wise, I don't think it's great. You're going to spread the talent even more thin, and it's already pretty thin now, especially with what, guys? The daunted word, second apron, hard cap. Especially with that, the talent's already thin. And with an expansion team, it just gets thinner across the board. I don't know that that's great for the game.
Does expansion water down the talent pool of the NBA?
I mean, it could. I'm looking at the teams that are real bad, right? The teams eliminated from the playoffs already. Nets are gone. Wizards are gone. Pacers are gone. We know the Pacers are dealing with some injuries. In the West, the Kings are gone. Curtis, you probably can, but most people cannot name a player probably on the Nets or the Sacramento Kings.
Michael Porter Jr. and Russell Westbrook.
Of course he can. Yeah. Of course he can. But the average person is not going to be able to do that, right? And what that tells me is if you have a strong league, in my opinion, the casual NBA fan, which ain't on this text line because I'm sure about to get blown up for talking NBA, right? Average NBA fan is going to be able to name one or two people on the team. Right now, the casual fan is not naming anyone on the Brooklyn Nets, the Wizards, the Pacers, the Kings, maybe Westbrook because he's a popular name. So I would have to take Draymond's word on this one because obviously he's in the league, and I can't name one or two guys on those teams.
I think it's also Draymond's take is taking into account the future talent that is going to arrive in the NBA, and we'll talk about it with Tate Frazier coming up at 1:00 for a March Madness preview. But like you look at this year's rookie class, the 2026 rookie class that is going to enter the NBA, like you're looking at probably 4 or 5 guys that could go number 1 overall in any other year besides this year. You've got just a ridiculous amount of talent that's coming into this league. Cooper Flagg entered the league last year. Victor Wembanyama was like 2 years prior to that. So like, just because the NBA is what it is right now, it doesn't mean the future talent isn't arriving, isn't coming.
So is Draymond Green's point by someone saying, hey, the league already has, teams that are tanking and it's not common to see guys that are falling just shy of 7 feet tall? Or is his opinion someone that's not really paying attention to the college product anymore?
Teams tank every year. I think Curtis's point is valid. There's a bunch of freshmen are going to run this tournament this year. Some ballers out there. But teams tank every year, and it's not anything new. I don't think you could have the NBA in its strongest year, whatever year that is, and there's still going to be 4 to 6 teams who are tanking because, you just don't have the right group of guys. So I think it could be both. I think that the talent coming in is on point, and I think that maybe Draymond might not be paying attention, but he's playing against these teams, and he's going against a talent that's already in there. So he might be overlooking the freshmen.
Christian the 206 says the teams are good enough. We got talent that should be out here playing. Players 10 to 13 on playoff teams are good players on average teams. So part of it. I think it's just like I get what Draymond's getting at. I just don't agree with him that the addition of 2 teams waters down talent.
30 new jobs,
right.
30 new players.
Right, waters down talent that much.
It's one player from each of the existing teams, basically.
Right.
Well, maybe that also opens up. I'm sure there are 10 guys in the G League right now who are capable of playing in this league, but not an opportunity because NBA is the hardest league to get into. The world plays it, and there's 12 roster spots. This would be interesting. It'd be unfortunate if, and it probably will happen, right? Mm-hmm. The expansion teams come in and they're just not that good, right? Typically, it takes a while for teams to collect that talent or whatnot. I think this is good, though. I mean, he's not thinking about Seattle the way we think about Seattle.
Right.
Yeah, Seattle deserves a team. They produce basketball players. The fans will support it. And I think that with that, too, it's like the culture of basketball will, I feel like, enhance this whole experience here when the Sonics do come back. So, man, I guess I'll respect what he's saying because he's in the league, but this needs to happen. It should have been happened.
Tyson in Gig Harbor texts in and says, I don't think the talent pool in the NBA is diluted because of a lack of talent. I blame free agency. I'm not just a hater, but allowing players to go play with each other and develop super teams takes away from developing a team over the long term.
What do you do to combat that? You just veto trades, like when we tried to get Chris Paul back in the day for the Lakers? How do you control that? Because at the end of the day, free agency, they're allowed to do whatever the heck they want to do. They want to team up with LeBron and them. They're going to team up with LeBron and them. It's more of a cultural type of thing. That's what controls it, really.
I think the only way you could maybe control the amount of superstars on a team is limiting like the number of max contracts a team is allowed to hand out.
Is that Draymond talking about the
second apron?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like it's a threshold where you can't surpass, and if you do, then you owe a significant amount in luxury tax. I think we've seen teams run up a luxury tax bill of like $500,000. I think when the Celtics won their title 2 years ago, they had, I believe, the highest luxury tax bill of any team in NBA history that year. So that is sort of to de-incentivize teams of carrying so many huge contracts. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that is a very different part of what the NBA is now. Well, and I think people who were rooting for the Sonics back in 2008 when they were still around, I mean, that just didn't really exist back then.
Well, and frankly, it's probably why someone like Adam Silver is rooting so much for international expansion, being like, yeah, like maybe if you're worried about players available in the U.S., but some of the best players, Bump, you've talked about this endlessly, some of the best players in the league right now are not U.S.-born players. So imagine that you continue to expand and continue to scout in those areas. They already do, plenty. They know this. But I can't think that the percentage growth of players that are NBA caliber talents is not going to expand, or is not. You know what I mean? It's just
the game's still growing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The game's still growing.
I don't know. I agree with Draymond completely on this one. You are listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, why the Seahawks still need an answer running back.
9 out of 10 experts agree wearing earbuds at work is the universal signal for leave me alone. So grab the earbuds, pull up the Seattle Sports app, and trade that annoying coworker's endless yapping for this.
He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Listen to every Mariners spring training game live for free, only on the Seattle Sports app. Improving lives through Mariners baseball, one
sparkling play by Josh Naylor
at a time.
Free consultations, no-fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
There's nothing better than having a big fish on your line. Make this the year you take that unforgettable fishing trip to Queen Charlotte Lodge. Time is running out for summer bookings. Experience a luxury resort and amazing fishing with your buddies, family, father, or son. King salmon runs, halibut, and lingcod are always plentiful. Book your stay at fishqcl.com and use code ESPN. Experience fishing first class. Experience fishqcl.com.
This week's First Mark Challenge victory, well, it goes to Mike. Hey, Mike, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
My wife and I moved here from New York City and found this great guy. It got pricey, but because he was good to us over the years, we stayed loyal to him. But then one day I got an increase that was quite unacceptable. So I made one phone call. I didn't do any shopping. My wife told me to call First Mark.
Mike, were they able to save you and your family money?
Oh, yes. It was over $100 a month.
What would you tell others they can expect when they call First Mark?
The most competitive pricing that you can find. And they had terrific customer service. Even if you're on the phone with them, you can tell they have a smile on their face, so you can tell they love what they're doing.
Do you wish you would have made that call earlier?
I was just kicking myself as you were speaking because I didn't do it sooner.
Well, you just heard. Mike did it. My family did it. You got to do it, too. It's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. That's firstmarkinsurance.com.
At quarterback, calling the right play could change the whole game. And when your car breaks down, same idea. Make the right call before the big repair bill hits. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. Plans include 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, and rental car options, all to keep your drive alive. Look, breakdowns happen, but choosing CarShield, that's the easiest call you'll make all day.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds kids too. 800-777-1225.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
P&D Tree Service. Local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. If you were hit hard by the storm, P&D Tree will remove trees and clean up while minimizing impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service. Any job, big or small. Safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeservice.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Denver Broncos added another weapon for Bo Nix. They sent the 30th overall pick to the Dolphins for Jalen Waddle. It's their first outside edition of the offseason. They were the last team to do so. Tonight, Team USA takes on Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic Final. First pitch at 5 p.m. in Miami.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Why the Seahawks still need an answer at running back. That's what we're talking here, and we have a lot to cover when it comes to this one. Let's start with whether or not we think they need an answer. And then we'll get to what the answer could be. And I'll start by saying this. I think that Curtis and I were talking about earlier, Bump, the value of running backs has changed so much. It wasn't that long ago where people were going, running backs don't matter. You don't have to pay
running
them.
back, schmunning back.
Exactly. You don't have to pay them. You don't have to draft them high. You don't have to do anything. You could find a 6th-rounder to replace a 6th-rounder. It doesn't even matter. Easy, no problem. And to be fair, we did see and have seen intriguing stats around that. As you mentioned, the Chiefs have won 3 Super Bowls with Patrick Mahomes and been to 5, I think. 5 or 6?
5 or 6.
And they did that all while Patrick Mahomes, like you said, was their leading rusher. That's shocking over that time span, that is. Now, then you had Saquon Barkley go to the Eagles and become a franchise-altering player for them. Derrick Henry went to the Ravens and proved he still very much had it and could make them a lethal weapon. And all of a sudden it was, wait a minute. Running backs can still be central to winning football games. And not only that, but like good running backs matter. So both of those things are important background bits when it comes to talking about the Seahawks, because I think there are some people that look at the Seahawks and they go, I got to see a bigger name. I got to see more talent. Yeah. I got to see some answers there. And then there are other people that look and they go, I kind of think anyone can run the ball. I feel like the answer's solved there. How do you look at it?
You know what's funny? Remember last week I did like the top 15 receivers and which ones have gone or were playoff on playoff teams. Let's do the same exercise with running backs.
Ooh.
All right. James Cook.
Yes.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
No.
But barely.
They did. They lost to
not a playoff team.
Not a playoff.
But just barely. A missed kick away from being a playoff team.
But not playoffs.
Okay.
Right. So one so far. Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. No.
Bijan Robinson.
No.
Achane.
No.
Williams. Yes. Gibbs, no. McCaffrey, yes. Javonte Williams, no. Saquon Barkley, yes. Etienne, no.
Yes.
No.
Jags?
No. Saints. Oh, he's just with the Saints now.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
So that's what, 3?
4.
4. All right. We got Swift, yes. Pollard, no. Dowdle,
Yes.
he was with Carolina, yes. Brees, no. And then K9, yes. So
Ooh.
about half.
Okay.
So if we're going off that exercise, then RBs have clearly shown a bit more value
stronger correlation.
than wide receivers, right? But even just going off of that basic exercise, right?
It's fun.
We know that running the football just opens everything up. It controls the game. But it's just the amount of touches these guys get. Like James Cook, the most touches in the league this year, 323 touches for Jonathan Taylor. That's 323 times him getting hit. So let's minus 18 of those things because those were touchdowns. He still might have got hit there. Still around 300 times he's touching the football. They're just at risk more. So I think that's what it comes down to. And it clearly shows that the running back's body is going to break down a bit more. But there's nothing like having a versatile running back back there. Nothing like having a Christian McCaffrey who can do everything, and James Cook who can do everything, Bijan Robinson who can do everything, Saquon Barkley. It just opens up your offense. So it's a tough position to be in because you understand value, but you understand just how their body gets jacked up.
Do the Seahawks need that running back to win? Now,
like
ironically,
a top 5?
Well, and look, I say that knowing that they just won a Super Bowl without that running back. Ken Walker gave them 1,000 yards. He's great. He's one of the most explosive runners in football, but I don't think anyone would say like a top 5 runner. So, I know that the answer to that is technically yes, but what I'm asking is, are you confident that they can get back to a Super Bowl without a top-level talent?
Well, they did it without a top-level talent, right?
Yeah.
So K9's not top level. Where would you place him?
But what about without Charbonnet, too?
I think they could hold it down for a while, but then eventually you're going to need Charbonnet or somebody to go out there and just create explosive. I'm not really too concerned about the yards, right? There are about 11 guys, about 14 guys who have gone over 1,000 yards this year on the ground. What I like looking at are just the explosive plays because those are the plays that change field position, that set you up to score. And the guys who had the most explosive plays, Henry, Achane, Gibbs, Walker, Jonathan Taylor, all productive backs. So, yes, you want the yards because you're going to get the attempts. You want a good average when it comes to yards per carry. But for me, it's more about the big plays, the explosive plays, and the ball security, right? Let's not fumble the football. Who's the running back that has the most fumbles? You got James Cook, 6 fumbles, but he also touched the ball 309 times, so it's going to happen.
Okay. How would you feel about investing in a running back with your first pick? Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock has Seattle at pick 32, taking Jadarian Price, Notre Dame. He said he would slide right into the mix with Ken Walker departing, Zach Charbonnet coming off injury. This would be their most precious draft selection. Pick 32, you can turn that into more than 4 picks. Not pick 32 itself, but you can trade back or you can get a running back. And remember what I said about running back value kind of wavering for some people over the last several seasons. There are some people that would say, absolutely not with pick 32 would I take a running back.
Well, we got to wait and see what's available. We've spoken to a couple draft guys, and, I try to set them up, and it's the same answer. Like, well, we just got to wait and see.
I know.
I mean? I ain't mad at it. I just want to see if someone's going to say something different. But no, you got to wait and see. I'd be okay with it because I'm looking at any other position. I'm not looking at receiver being like, damn, what are we going to do? Offensive line, I'm like, nah, we're good there. Defensive line, maybe an edge if D-Law doesn't come back or they cut Chenna. But there's no other position where I'm thinking, what are we going to do? Only position I'm really looking at is running back. And you got 3 guys on the roster right now, but which one of those 3 are going to be it? And there's nothing wrong with bringing in some fresh legs. So, no, I wouldn't mind running back at 32.
Is that their biggest need right now? For me, it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, there are other areas I look at. I guess I just, look, I'm not saying I'm certainly not always right with my opinions. I just happen to share them all with you guys, so you see the ones that are wrong. I've been wrong about things before, and I've been right about things before. I am, though, surprised at how unsure I feel and how confident some friends feel or Seahawks fans feel. Like, there are some people, even regular listeners that will text in and go, I love this group. I don't know why you need to add. I'd rather spend that money elsewhere. I'd rather go back to the trenches, or I'd rather add to the secondary or linebacker room or whatever it is. To me, I look at this running back room and I go, I need to see more. I need to see more added.
If the Hawks were to start today, no one will feel comfortable putting any of those guys who are in the running back room right now as a starter, right? You will feel comfortable as, okay, let's give them a shot, but not comfortable as where, all right, we know we're going to get production
Snap one.
right now.
Yeah.
You know that, and that's the issue. We can go through training camp, we can go through special teams, and someone's going to rise to the top, and we feel better about it. But right now, you don't know who you're going to put out there. So that's what gives me pause a bit. Everywhere else, I know where production is going to come from. Even if you cut a guy, I'm like, all right, well, this guy is gonna step up. But that's the gamble of just being a GM, is that you got to project. You're projecting that one of these guys is going to be the guy. If they don't get priced at 32, or you're projecting that a guy deeper in the draft is going to do it. It's just scary because you don't know. But we've seen the NFL has shown us that you can get a rookie there and he can go out and do his thing.
Now we're getting into that debate of, is it the running back or is it the pieces around him, right? JD and the 509. Shore up the offensive line, and it doesn't matter who's in the backfield. This is a debate I love having about Sean Alexander in the Seahawks 2005 offensive line, which had future Hall of Famers on it, because I think there are some people that go, I'm not as blown away by Alexander in his crazy season, because I think that a lot of running backs could have done that behind the offensive line. Then there are people like me who go, you still need to be talented. You still got to have the right reads and the right feel and the right patience and the IQ to be able to run and the skill to be able to run. If every single running back behind every great offensive line could do what Sean Alexander did, then why aren't we seeing running backs get 25 touchdowns as much anymore?
Would you feel all right with this, responding to what JD said, offensive line, put anybody back there? Would you prime Travis Homer? You're good with him being your starting running back?
No offense to Travis Homer.
No
Nicest
offense.
guy.
That's not his game. CJ Procise.
Nope.
No, right? It's just, there's no knock on those dudes. And I think that it's easier to find a running back capable, for sure. But you can't just say put anybody back there. There's levels to this.
Yeah, and I think that we can all find examples of, you mentioned Phillip Lindsay being a great example. Thomas Rawls, as an undrafted rookie, came here and got nearly 900 yards before suffering a season-ending injury. Chris Carson was nearly undrafted. He was like 5 picks away from being undrafted and gave you a 1,000-yard season once he was healthy in his second year. Meanwhile, Rashad Penny was a first-round pick and did nothing for you, right? Like, we can find examples of people bucking that trend. I want more insurance in that room. It is a position that is hurt often. It is a position where Seattle has at times been unlucky. 3 players have given you 1,000 yards since, mid-2000s? So Marshawn Lynch, Chris Carson, Ken Walker, your 3 running backs to give you 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And how many years? I mean, I can't think of who. Curtis, who would have given you 1,000 yards before Marshawn, the most recent guy?
Sean Alexander, I think.
So since the mid-aughts?
Yeah, it's not often.
Right. Yeah. And we all talk about how 1,000 yards isn't even that impressive anymore. Well, you've got 4 guys since 2000 to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little tougher than you think, and I'm not a betting man, so I want more insurance in that room.
Yeah. And I think we feel like, most quarterbacks are going to operate better when the run game is going, but especially Sam. You know, we know our guy now. We got a full year of this guy.
You mentioned him in play action, too, being so great. Yeah.
Better in play action, better when the run game is going. He's the quarterback that needs a bit more support than the elite of the elite. And I've also said it's okay. We want these guys to be have the threat of running the football. Yeah, you want to have the threat of running the football, but you got to pop a few of those, too, to keep these guys honest. I think running back, it's so unfortunate, man, because it is a position that takes a beating. They're asked to do a lot in pass pro, and especially if you can receive the football at the backfield. But it's so undervalued in money, but super valuable when you turn on that film and see how a good running back can affect a defense. You team up a good running back with a good offensive line and some tight ends that can pack it in and release.
Yeah.
Man, the offense is multiple.
I love another texter saying they had 2 or 3 Hall of Famers on one offensive line. That's the other thing, is why are we assuming it's
right.
you just build up a great offensive line? Okay, give me the instruction manual on doing
best
that.
Left tackle and left guard of
yeah,
there.
and
Easy.
your franchise history. Just go. I mean, it's a fair point too. It's it's just as tough to build up that group and have 5 guys stay healthy together for the whole season. another part of this conversation I want to get to that I thought was interesting, and it's a question that Curtis brought up. We've been talking about, hey, what if they take a running back at 32? It's a need. That's their first pick. The Seahawks have been drafting for best player available. They just won a Super Bowl, though. Do you need to draft for best player available, or can you fill some holes with those early picks?
Ah, man, I think it's best player available. I think it always is, unless you're looking for like a QB. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go with best available. Yeah, you have to go best available.
I think so, too.
Yeah, best available just makes your team better. I mean, we saw, what were the draft picks? They went for need. DN, TCU.
Oh, L.J. Collier.
Mm-hmm. Rashad Penny. You know?
Malik McDowell was another area of need.
You know? Like, you have to go with the best player.
Yeah, I think so, too. And I get why the question's here. When you don't have a lot of holes, you know, you have a ton of talent. Why don't you just kind of like plug the holes and figure that out? I get the take, but you won a Super Bowl by drafting best player. You won a Super Bowl because you took Devin when you didn't need to take Devin, because you took JSN, because you took Nick Emanwari. Like, you didn't need all of those positions. You could have taken another tackle for some depth in Nick Emanwari's place, but you didn't.
I'm just going to contradict everything I just said.
Okay.
Because if Price is available at 32.
Yeah.
And he's not the best player, I'm going to take him.
What if the best player is you wouldn't have a first round pick on him, but what if it's several picks higher? Wouldn't you rather have an incredible talent?
Yeah, I would. But I feel like in this situation with this team, like getting the best running back doesn't just reset things, but it makes you feel just a lot better about what the offense is capable of doing.
See, I always think of like you're adding a body to a room and some depth versus you're making another position even more dynamic. You know why the Eagles have kept that great offensive line for so long? Because they draft it when they don't need it. Because they use good draft capital when they see incredibly talented linemen.
Let me ask you this then.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Price at 32.
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
Yeah.
And then you have the best offensive lineman. The offensive lineman is the best player that's available. You're going to go with the offensive lineman?
Yes.
Yeah.
If I think he's also a culture fit, because John Schneider's talked a lot about that too, is like getting guys where it's like, this dude's going to get after it, right? Like, he loves Gray Zabel's mentality. Like, that would be an exit. Nick Emanwari's mentality. Like, if he's got that dog in him and he's the best player available, yeah, that's how you build up blue chip talent and you build up Super Bowl rosters.
I think for me, there's one player in this draft right now that I think will be available at them that I would just change my philosophy for, and that's just Price. Just because I think that the running back, that running back room needs just one more piece, and I don't think you can find that piece. Picks third round, fourth round, fifth round, whatever they have. But just for this situation, for this team, because all the talent they already do have, I feel like that running back will supercharge his team better than the best offensive lineman.
Or what if there's a great defensive lineman who you think is way more likely to hit?
It's always D-line.
You maybe have, but you have a first round grade on him. And let's say you have a late second grade on Price, which isn't true, but let's say you do.
Mm-hmm.
You still going with Price?
D-line is different. D-line is different. D-line, you control the whole game with a great defensive line.
Opening day is almost here, and we're sending one of you and a friend to experience it like never before. Imagine getting front row access to the opening ceremony, player introductions, the first pitch, and so much more, all from the field. To enter, all you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. So you can download it from the App Store if you don't already have it. It's free. Or you can text the word app, A-P-P, to 866-979-3776, and we will send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Wednesday, March 18th. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump Stacy.
Headline number one, the Dolphins are trading receiver Jalen Waddle to the Broncos for pick number 30, a third rounder and a fourth in this year's draft. What's the real headline?
Bump, watch me cook. His name is Jalen Waddle, but I bet he's sprinting out of Miami.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, Yeah.
He is sprinting out of Miami.
Waddling is also a way that people walk like a penguin.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not just a last name. But then, because what I did is I made a play on that.
Is that what you did? Okay.
Making sure
I got you.
I think it's better if I explain it. It's better that way. It's funnier.
It's kind of like your favorite comedian's favorite comedian.
That's what I
they're
am.
just smart jokes.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It's overlapping heads.
Gotta think about it.
Yeah.
You gotta dumb it down for folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
I am very intrigued by what the AFC West could look like. In our email that I sent, we didn't end up making this a segment at all, but one thing we were kind of thinking about is, hey, Eric Edholm had the power rankings, and those 3 NFC West teams are in the top 5. Oh my God, when was the last time that a division was seen as being that competitive over that many years? And I was thinking of possible divisions, and I thought there was a minute when the AFC North was like looking kind of crazy. The AFC West has kind of been Kansas City's for a minute, but there are enough intriguing changes with other teams. The Broncos getting some more weapons and coming off a strong year. The Chargers getting a brand new OC and getting back hopefully a healthy offensive line that do make me wonder what next year could look like for all of them. The #1 overall pick joining the Raiders. They're still years behind, but
Mahomes not being healthy,
Right.
going with Justin Fields over there.
a little intriguing in the West.
It is intriguing.
The other West.
Yeah, the first time that the Chiefs aren't coming in as favorites. And that's good for football, though. I know that's good for Denver fans, Raiders fans, Chargers fans. They feel like they actually have a chance this year.
Yeah.
What if Justin Fields just, holds it down? He's looking great out there.
Then what?
I would love it for him.
They're going to come up with some packages for him to be included.
Yeah, it's still going to be my home squad.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Make it interesting over there. Make it
Or
interesting.
they're going to trade him. They're going to be like, great, we just upped this trade value and we can flip this now and get like a early day 2 pick.
Yeah, like a 4th rounder.
Or a high second.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
High second?
Early day 2
He must
pick?
have to be going nuts if you get a high second for Justin Fields.
Well, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, wasn't Jimmy G, what was that trade package? Was that a second rounder? Or was
Believe
he
so.
Or was he a second rounder? I don't remember
He
what
was a second rounder, and I
actually
believe he got
traded
traded for a second.
Okay. I think I might have gotten them flipped.
That's Jimmy to the Niners?
Yes.
I still remember to this day a segment that was on some sports show. And I watch all of them. I love all of them. But it was after the Jimmy G trade, and it was when the 49ers were riding high. And it was, when will the 49ers' first loss be? And it was trying to predict, they could go a good chunk of the season undefeated. Just how times have changed.
For real.
Yeah.
Headline rewrites.
Line number 2, Team USA takes on Venezuela in tonight's World Baseball Classic final. What's the real headline?
Not since a trip to the Woodland Park Zoo have I seen an elephant in the room this big.
Yeah, awkward.
Someone told me there aren't elephants there anymore.
Really?
Apparently.
I saw that. Yeah, I did see that on the text lines. This is what I need. I need Snohomish County's best. I need the pickup trucks. I need the overalls. I need the what do you call those? The beer hats. I need the crazy fans at this game because Venezuela, it's gonna be a party in that piece, man.
In Miami?
It's gonna be a party. It's gonna be a home game for Venezuela, but it should be fun, man. It's I didn't expect Venezuela to make it this far. I thought Japan was gonna get them. That didn't go down. I thought it was gonna be a rematch, but it should be exciting. That's tonight, right? Tonight.
Yes, at 5 p.m. And we are waiting to see whether or not Cal Raleigh, A, will be in the lineup. He's expected to. But B, will get his first hit. I was looking up the stats from this. He and Byron Buxton, the only two members of Team USA without a hit. Now, granted, it's the WBC. It's not only spring, but it's an incredibly short time period. So, the leader is Schwarber with 8, right? It's not a massive gap, but I just selfishly, even though it doesn't matter, would love for Cal to get a hit.
Yeah, me too.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, J.P. Crawford is going to see a specialist about his shoulder. What's the real headline?
And Randy and Cal are expected to see a peer mediator. Everyone's going to see a specialist.
And what were you in 8th grade, Stacey?
I was a peer mediator.
That is so irresponsible.
Did anyone else's schools have this kind of thing? I don't get how it's irresponsible. There was still an adult in the room.
Well, yeah, once you threw the adult in there, I'm like, okay, but I'm like, they really just left Stacey in there to figure this thing out with some other
And I did it.
13-year-olds.
I'm very good at solving problems that people have with each other.
This feels like a way for a school to get around hiring a counselor.
You know what? This is no.
Just child labor.
First of all,
That is not our budget.
Yeah,
No,
well,
we
you do
use-
it for school credit.
we use I feel blank when blank statements. So, for instance, let's go back to the argument that you two were having earlier about Bam's 83-point game. Okay. Bump, you feel frustrated when Curtis overlooks the way that Kobe got his total.
I don't like how I feel like I called the meeting, like, hey, we got to meet with Bump.
And then Curtis, you feel, give me a word, maybe annoyed, when Bump refuses to give credit to a non-Lakers player.
I gave credit to Bam.
It's not your turn yet.
I gave credit to Bam.
When you're holding the talking teddy bear, you can talk.
Do you want to do an if I feel when statement for Bam?
No.
I feel annoyed that Bam
shot so many free throws and his teammates fouled late in the game.
Okay, we're going back. We're taking steps backwards. I was a great peer mediator. I'll solve this. Don't worry. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, we all expected A.J. Brown to be traded at this point in the offseason, so why hasn't it happened yet?
Brock and Salk.
I got a text from a friend that said, I'm having a discussion with a buddy.
Morning 6 to 10.
He says the Mariners are better than last year. I told him I'd get your expert opinion. Well, I appreciate being labeled an expert in this case.
Did you answer?
I did answer.
On paper, you would see that this is a more mature team and a complete team.
Brock and Salk. Morning 6 to 10 on the home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
There's nothing better than having a big fish on your line. Make this the year you take that unforgettable fishing trip to Queen Charlotte Lodge. Time is running out for summer bookings. Experience a luxury resort and amazing fishing with your buddies, family, father, or son. King salmon runs, halibut, and lingcod are always plentiful. Book your stay at fishqcl.com and use code ESPN. Experience fishing first class. Experience fishqcl.com.
Your old water heater's starting to peter. DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net. Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Spring, well, it's the perfect time to start planning your dream deck. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get you started with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. What does that mean? Well, it means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. Most people who start with a design package end up with the outdoor space they've always dreamed of. And this offer is your first step. Don't wait until summer and wish you had started the process sooner. Start it now. Do what Molly and I did some years ago. Contact PCF Construction Group today. Get project ideas, browse photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. Go see my friends at PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
The brackets are now open. Compete in the Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Head to seattlesports.com/win to pre-register. Receive your bracket and compete for your shot at great prizes. The grand prize winner from the 64-team bracket will win $1,000 in Visa gift cards. But if your bracket is busted in the first round, we have other ways for you to play too. Register and find complete rules at seattlesports.com/win.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. Final tryouts for adults ages 18 to 65 and older are this Sunday, March 22nd at Interlake High School in Bellevue. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers in high school to former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank.
We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Don't miss Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League Baseball.
This could be two. JP has it, goes to the bag, steps on second, fires the first double play.
Broadcast times at seattlesports.com.
Hi, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store. Something that happens here most every day are customers and contractors looking to purchase doors they can take today. Frank Lumber has a good selection of pre-hung display doors that are ready to go. And if we don't have what you need today, whether it be style or size, and you find a door in stock, we can still get you taken care of quickly. Come visit our showroom and bargain barn in Shoreline. Also, be sure to check us out online at franklumber.com.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett. With more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're number one.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
A few updates here from Adam Schefter to lead off NFL headlines. Is there something hanging up a potential A.J. Brown trade? Now, I'll pause for a second. Bump, did you expect that by now, mid-March, A.J. Brown would have been dealt?
Gone.
Right?
Thought he'd be in Buffalo by now.
You would think. Adam Schefter talked about potential hangups here.
Obviously, he would like to be moved, I think, in my mind. I mean, that goes back to last year. He was not. The math is such where they would have had a hard time agreeing to a trade and getting him traded before June 1st. Now, they did take care of the Dallas Goedert deal on Sunday, so that does give them a little bit more flexibility. But there's just not an obvious trade home right now, and they still would rather trade him post June 1. And to do that, that's illegal. Like, you can't say to somebody, okay, we have a trade, but we're not going to process it till after June 1.
So saying it benefits the Eagles to wait.
Yeah.
Sorry, AJ.
AJ, you made your bed. Now you lay in it. You'll be moved, and hopefully you bring a refreshed, youthful attitude and approach to it, and go have some fun again, man. It doesn't seem like he's having fun playing ball, and no. I think it's easy to kind of forget that in the NFL. You're getting paid all this money. You put a lot of pressure on yourself, expectations. End of the day, it's a game. Go have some fun. There are such things as people, A, changing or maturing and growing, and B, some environments just not being right for certain players. Dwayne Brown was, by the end of his tenure with the Houstons, really unhappy and holding out, and then came to Seattle and was immediately, and over the course of his time here, a leader in the locker room. It didn't mean he wasn't a leader in Houston, but it did mean that relationship had just kind of come to a natural end. Yeah. That, to me, is how I see the A.J. Brown-Philly relationship, where it's like, maybe A.J. Brown ends up having a great relationship with his quarterback and with his team, and
in whatever it is on his next up because it's just a better fit for him. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see whether that's the case. Okay, more from Adam. I got 2 more here. Will Tua Tagovailoa start for the Falcons? Schefter says that's looking increasingly likely.
There are major questions about Michael Penix's health and knee. I don't know exactly when he's going to be ready yet. I don't know if they know when he's going to be ready yet. So you could almost see how that's going to play out, right? Like, Tua's going to get all the reps in camp, or at least most of the reps in camp. And if he's playing well, and I would imagine he will, like, he's going to be the favorite to win that job. If I had to just look into the crystal ball and see how that's going to evolve. New coach, new GM, Penix isn't healthy, Tua gets to work. You're not going to get to work and say, okay, now let's go back to Penix here with a week left in training camp to get him ready for. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, no, he's right. Like, there's no way that with that little prep, Penix is going to be ready to go. And why rush him, right?
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere.
No, take your time with that. I mean, that's why you brought Tua over. You didn't bring him over to be a backup.
Right.
You're only paying him, 1.5 or something, so he could have been a backup. But no, you bring him over because you feel like Penix isn't ready to go. Lefty on lefty over there, so let's see if Tua can bounce back. I was hoping he'd go to a place where he can chill for a bit, sit down for a year, and kind of refocus, but I'm sure he wants to play, so good situation for him.
If he plays exceptionally well, is anything in danger for Michael Penix?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yep. Even though he's done that before, 1 year, balls out.
Yeah.
But I think that Michael Penix will still have some draft value. Trade value if Tua was the ball.
Michael Penix Jr. has an incredible arm. We all saw that at Washington, and we've seen moments of that too in the league. But I think that the Falcons are in such an interesting position in the NFC South where if you start out hot and let's say Tua's playing and you're like 6-0 to start the season, it's not even that you're giving up on Michael Penix Jr. It's just that division is winnable by pretty much any team in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you are looking at, like, if you've got another team by a tiebreaker or a game, you could have 9 wins and you're going to the playoffs.
Yep.
There were rumors floating around about the Rams maybe trying to trade Devontae Adams to make room for A.J. Brown, but Schefter says that if you are wondering whether or not Adams would still be traded, the answer is no.
Sunday, Devontae Adams had a $6 million roster bonus due. The Rams paid it. So that should tell you everything you need to know about Devontae Adams at this point in time. If the Rams had gotten in on A.J. Brown, could that have impacted Devontae Adams? Possibly, but it never did happen. And they paid the option bonus to Devontae Adams. So any Rams speculation that could have, should have, would have been out there, that's sailed.
All right, so look, he's not going anywhere. If you were thinking it meant they were ready to move on from Adams, no.
And you got Puka and Adams. I know you want to carry like 3 starters on your squad, which you have them. You look at their depth chart, but they play so much 12 and 13 personnel that really all you need are a 1 and a 2, and you kind of fill in the rest with the guys they have on the roster already. Best case scenario for them. All right, you tried to get AJ, didn't work out. Don't worry, you still got the receiver who had the most receiving touchdowns last year. You're okay.
Justin Fields is on his way to Kansas City, and Mina Kimes thinks this could be a Sam Darnold-like turning point for his career.
I think and we're going to say this a lot, it's going to be overused, is hoping for a Sam Darnold-type trajectory. And when I think about Darnold, I think about not even where he was in Minnesota, because Fields isn't going to play that much. I think about his year you can run sneaks with, so that's something I would like to see. From Fields' perspective, I think and we're going to say this a lot, it's going to be overused, is hoping for a Sam Darnold-type trajectory. And when I think about Darnold, I think about not even where he was in Minnesota, because Fields isn't going to play that much. I think about his year in between the Panthers and the Vikings when he was with the 49ers, and he obviously didn't play very much, but I do think that experience was helpful for him. Very few quarterbacks, very few places in the world that are better to learn than Kansas City, backing up Patrick Mahomes. So I think this is a great opportunity for Justin Fields at this point in his career.
Could this be a Sam Darnold-like turning point for Justin?
Nah, maybe. We'll see.
The difference is you're not keeping that starting job.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I would assume that the offense would look a bit different with Justin Fields too, because he is a guy who's capable for rushing for 1,000 yards in 2022. He did that. You can't run the same things and ask Justin Fields to diagnose the same way that Pat Mahomes does, but it is a good place for him to learn. So yeah, go over there, you learn. I would assume that Andy Reid and Bieniemy are going to tweak this offense just a little bit to use his athleticism, but we just can't keep looking for Sam Darnold. That's a tough act to follow.
Amina's right, and that it's going to become a joke how often we hear people say like a Sam Darnold-like turn. Now, I do think it's a very interesting conversation because questions about do we write off players too easily in general, much less quarterbacks, is really important. It's the most valuable position in sports, and so many guys are thrown into like a rotating cast of offensive coordinators and head coaches and horrible offensive lines and bad situations, and then they're given up on before they're ready to develop. So yeah, very important to re-explore top-level talent, right? Justin Fields is a first-round pick. Sam Darnold was a first-round pick. Kyler Murray was the first overall pick. It's worth making sure that that talent has been absolutely explored and that you've explored every corner to make sure that you can't, bring out more of it. But Sam Darnold went to a Vikings team where the presumed starter got injured and was done for the year. Then he went to a Seahawks team where the starting job was his to lose. Justin isn't keeping that starting job. There's nothing that Justin Fields can do at all this season that gets him that job once Patrick Mahomes is healthy.
I think it's more about his development.
So
You're
like
in
then
Chicago,
where he goes next.
where you didn't have great teaching. You're in Pittsburgh, where they didn't really believe in you. You're competing with Russell Wilson. They brought him in. Then you're with the Jets, to where the leadership over there is all jacked up. I think this is more about just setting himself up for the next step. He understands that he'll go into the situation with that mentality and just ball out and have some fun.
All right, last up here, UW receiver Denzel Boston and running back Jonah Coleman chose not to run the 40 and the Huskies Pro Day. Neither prospect ran at the Combine either, but some updates. Coleman visited the Seahawks facility on Tuesday. This is from his Instagram story where he tagged himself with the VMAC. I would like to see Jonah in
Jonah
Seattle.
Coleman.
I would
I
love
don't think
that.
He's gonna be around though.
No, but I am a sucker for local talent.
I mean, but you can be a sucker for this one. This is a good one.
This is a pretty good guy to sign at a position of need. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. I've got WBC news coming up next.
Having one of those days where a little of this would make things so much better?
Fastball, strike three called. He got him looking. How about that for a Cactus League debut? Cade Anderson striking out the side.
We got you. You can stream every Mariners spring training game live for free on the Seattle Sports app. Making lives better through Mariners baseball, one
Goodbye baseball
at a time. Home of your American League West champion Mariners.
High five. Up top. Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Heck yeah! He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Yes! The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping. Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Do you need a new roof? Then trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing to get you taken care of this spring. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and secure $500 off your roof replacement. Right now, you can still take advantage of spring pricing and beat the summer rush. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and if you're somebody with joint pain, this will be of interest to you. This Thursday night at 6 p.m., Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
Hi, it's Dave Wyman, and this live webinar is a great education on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
Whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, knee, or even wrists and ankles, this live webinar will explain the procedure and how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells.
Learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
Go pain-free in 2026. Join his free live stem cell webinar this Thursday night at 6 p.m.
Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
The brackets are now open. Compete in the Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Head to seattlesports.com/win to pre-register. Reseed your bracket and compete for your shot at great prizes. The grand prize winner from the 64-team bracket will win $1,000 in Visa gift cards. But if your bracket is busted in the first round, we have other ways for you to play too. Register and find complete rules at seattlesports.com/win.
Hour and a half drive here to have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Opening day is just days away, and we want to send you and a friend to experience it like never before. Get front row access to the opening ceremonies, player introductions, first pitch, and more, all from the field. To enter, just open the Seattle Sports app and hit the Win tab. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Better hustle. Contest runs through March 18th from the home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports. Don't miss the all-sound plumbing Mariners Cactus League report. Tuesday nights at 6. Going inside Mariners camp on the home of the American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
And we're back. The big headline today. Your Washington Credit Union, WSECU, has done it again.
5 straight years as Forbes' best in-state credit union. That's a dynasty, Rick, like 5 straight championship rings.
Or 5 seasons hitting 400, Steve.
Holy catfish! If you want a team that wins year after year, join your Washington Credit Union, WSECU. Details at WSECU.org.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett, with more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're #1.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You know, I was hoping that Cal Raleigh, one of 2 players on Team USA to not have a hit in the WBC, would be able to get one tonight, but he's not in the lineup. Your lineup tonight, Witt leading off, Harper, Judge, Schwarber, Bregman, Roman Anthony, Will Smith, your catcher, Turang, and Buxton, your starting pitcher, Nolan McLean. Some numbers from the American lineup against Rodriguez pitching for Venezuela. Bregman is 9 for 27 with 3 home runs, 2 doubles, 3 strikeouts. Judge has a home run, a double, 14 strikeouts. He's 5 for 33. Bobby Witt Jr., 4 for 12. Kyle Schwarber, who's been one of the 2 best players on Team USA so far, certainly leading the team with hits, 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts against Rodriguez.
Should be interesting, is what you're saying. Should be interesting.
I know, but kind of a bummer. I think it's the last chance you had to see Cal.
Hey, it's bigger than Cal. It's about the USA. It's bigger than Cal.
Look, it is bigger than Cal, but I think that the Cal not getting a hit has really added fuel to the Cal Raleigh is overrated. Why was he ever part of the MVP conversation with the glorious, untouchable Aaron Judge? Aaron Judge is one of the best players I've ever seen. So.
If anyone's saying that, I question your
half
IQ.
of New York was saying that
Yeah,
last
but
year.
they're supposed to say. I mean, if they're saying that now, if they're using this for that argument, then they clearly don't know how this thing works.
Yeah, I just kind of a bummer, but maybe not surprising. Curtis, would there be an opportunity today to pinch hit Cal at any point?
Yeah. I mean, helps to have a 60 home run hitter on your bench if you need a nice base hit or maybe even a home run later in the game.
Yeah, which you could use. I don't know. Bump, I also wanted to get to this story when it comes to Team USA. Maybe the most viral moment to come from this outside of the Cal Randy. The most viral moment was Cal and Randy.
Mm-hmm.
The second most viral moment, I would say, was Mark DeRosa not realizing they were eliminated.
Yeah.
Not realizing they were in danger of being
Right.
eliminated. Not realizing they hadn't punched their ticket to the quarterfinal. Some updates there. Our next story. MLB Network's Matt Vasgersian, right? Did I say that right? Thank you, Curtis. Is taking blame for Mark DeRosa's now infamous comments about Team USA already clinching a knockout round before they actually did.
The heat that he took, first of all, I and some of my colleagues take full responsibility for bringing him down a bad path in that interview. And unfortunately, he went with a little and it just spiraled out of control. But that was at whatever it was, 10 o'clock Eastern time on a game day. If anybody thinks that he was unaware of the circumstance after that interview, they are mistaken. By the way, he knew what was going on the whole time, and he was clarified on that as soon as the interview ended. So there was this narrative that a lot of hacky people built about how he rested key players and didn't manage it with any urgency. That's nonsense.
Now listen, everyone needs a friend like this in your corner.
For real. That's a good homie right there.
Matt, Bump, I want you to know that if you ever made a huge mistake on air, I would just be like, I actually told Bump to say that. I wrote it on the show sheet.
I wouldn't ask you to.
But you know what I mean? I would take the fall for you, much like Matt is going to do for DeRosa.
This is wild, though. Like, this is wild.
What do you mean?
Even if they led him down that path, right? Maybe they nudged him a little bit. He still went along with it. It was like, or already punched. So you went into this interview without being debriefed, without knowing exactly what the situation was. So, yeah, someone can nudge you down the path, but if you know what the facts are and the truth is, then I would expect you to come out and say, well, actually, we need this one, and then our ticket will be punched. But instead, if this is true, I'm just going off of saying, all right, maybe Matt's telling the truth, then he just went with it, and he should have corrected it.
Listen. It was very obvious that at a certain point during the tournament, DeRosa thought that they had punched their ticket. I know that because he said it. We don't need to put the pieces together and connect the dots. He said it. Now, it's okay and a forgivable offense if Matt is correct and he was immediately corrected, and not only immediately corrected, but maybe had landed on that over the course of a conversation where the hosts are saying as much and he's like, oh, yeah, totally. Sure. I don't love Matt saying that people are being hacky, fake reporters or whatever, for then listening to talk about how players were presumably celebrating and looking at a lineup where he's like, I don't know, maybe we roll this out. I don't think that it makes you a hack to look at that lineup against Italy and go, did they start the game thinking this? I don't know. You don't need to get offended at people for wondering that.
He said guys were dragging, too, because of the festivities on the bus, in the hotel. You clearly were celebrating something. Did someone just have a kid? What are we celebrating then if we're not talking about you punching your ticket?
Someone said, stop gaslighting us. I feel like I'm being gaslit. This is one of the few instances when the term you're gaslighting me is what someone is doing.
I can't stand that word.
But that's what's happening.
Yeah,
They're telling you that something didn't happen that did happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What did happen is it wasn't just misspeaking. You misunderstood. And that's okay. I would imagine that there was a good chunk of viewers that maybe didn't fully understand.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
I think it's forgivable so long as you don't then tell people that they're wrong, that they don't understand.
Yeah, people just came in like, man, yeah, I messed up.
Yeah, just like, oh yeah, I was. Shame on me for that. Thank goodness that our players were able to pull this out.
But it's still not okay. You have to know the rules. You're not throwing or catching or hitting. That's your one job. Rotate the pitchers.
Yeah.
Pinch hit. Know the rules.
I'm sure Mark DeRosa is a phenomenal person. And again, I was listening to Foul Territory, and they talked about he is a great guy to grab a drink with. Like, he's your buddy. You want to hang out with this guy. However, I don't appreciate, in general, MLB Network trying to reframe this and covering up, I think, an honest mistake, and covering it up and making it like suddenly viewers are idiots and suddenly fans are dumb for looking at this. What are you talking about? You're telling me that everyone around baseball went like, bro, this lineup in this moment? And when did you find out? And that we're all wrong and we misunderstood?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much is what they're saying.
That I don't appreciate. You took okay, then why did you take the video off YouTube? Exactly. MLB Network. If it was completely misunderstood by all of us, why'd you take the video down?
Suspect. You look silly out there, man.
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, it's not all right, but the way that you moved after you made the mistakes made it even worse. And then having this guy come out and try to take bullets for you is even worse. And even says, oh, I nudged him down the wrong path. So what? If you know the rules, then you must correct it. Clearly, you didn't know at that time. So.
The world that I'm choosing to live in is that he not only didn't know, but maybe was also told by someone else, like, oh, we've done the calculations on run differential and, like, you're set.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what he thought. And that he found out either shortly before the game or at some point during the game. That's what I'm choosing to believe.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Is that what you guys are on board with? Is that kind of how you're seeing it?
Yep.
Curtis, also seeing it that way? Yeah. Is any part of you believing that we're all wrong, that DeRosa actually that knew and that we're just misunderstanding all of this?
No, not
Heck no.
Yeah, sorry. No offense to Matt. No offense to Mark. I'm sure they're wonderful people, but I don't like painting fans like they're idiots and people covering the story like they're conspiracy or conspiracy,
well, and him calling us hacky in that, well, not just us, but the collective we of sports media, when it's like, no, my ears heard what I heard. Like, that's...
It was pretty noteworthy. The manager of the team thought that they had already punched their ticket to the quarterfinal and was talking around, it's funny, we still want to beat Italy even though we already won, but I want to get some, at-bats for these guys. That speaks to lineup decisions where you put out guys that maybe weren't your first pick, but guys that you just wanted to get a bit more time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a bad outcome of tonight is not. I'm not saying that Team USA winning would be a bad outcome. I'm rooting for them. A bad outcome is if Team USA wins and you kind of have to bring Mark DeRosa back for the next one because he won the tournament.
Run it back.
Previewing March Madness with Tate Frazier next.
9 out of 10 experts agree wearing earbuds at work is the universal signal for leave me alone. So grab the earbuds, pull up the Seattle Sports app, and trade that annoying coworker's endless yapping for this.
He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Listen to every Mariners spring training game live for free, only on the Seattle Sports app. Improving lives through Mariners baseball, one
sparkling play by Josh Naylor
at a time.
Well, there's nothing I hate worse than being cold. And if your house is feeling a bit drafty or the floors of the main level are way too cold on your feet, that's probably because your crawl space and attic don't have enough insulation. It's probably making your furnace work overtime. So now you're spending more money as well. Well, how about a free and easy way to learn if you need better insulation? Just schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic with Crawl Pros. It's exactly what I did. They'll show up to your house. They'll go where you don't want to, certainly where I didn't want to, and they'll tell you if you got any problems with your crawl space, your attic, and especially your insulation. If they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates as well to help you get that work done correctly and affordably. If you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could receive a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost. Make your home more comfortable, save on your energy bill with Crawl Pros. If you're worried that anything's going on in your crawl space or attic, critters, mold, water, plumbing issues, call Crawl Pros or go to crawlpros.com.
It's funny how you get used to things in not so ideal condition around the house. It's Dave Wyman here, and for me, it was old windows. After 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal. We got used to cold drafts, outside noises, and condensation. And if you're in the same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to the old, dreary windows and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. Right now, they're having a spring cleaning sale to complete your home makeover. If you buy 10 windows, you can choose between 20% off your entire project or get a free door. On top of that, make 0 payments and accumulate 0 interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade, manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest and exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Call 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today at harleyexteriors.com.
Your old water heater's starting to peter. DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Norm. Norm, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
Spending too much money on insurance, and it just kept on going up higher and higher and higher. And this last time I did the First Mark Challenge.
So they were able to save you some money, Norm?
Oh, yeah, at least $2,000 a year.
What?
At least.
Wow. You ever feel like, man, I wish I would have taken that First Mark Challenge earlier?
Yes. I mean, $2,000 I could have saved a year, over probably 4 or 5 years. Wow.
How would you describe their customer service?
Fantastic. Beyond expectation. Call First Mark. They treat you like a real person, that they have your best interest in mind.
Norm did it. My family did it. You got to do it. And it's totally free. Go take the First Mark Challenge. See how much money they can save you like they did Norm, and how much better your coverage will get to. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory I get to talk to. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
A couple wide receivers are on the move. The Broncos added Jalen Waddle in a trade with the Dolphins that sent Miami the number 30 overall pick. The Dolphins now have 2 first-rounders, including number 11 overall. The Eagles added free agent Hollywood Brown to a 1-year deal. Per ESPN, that contract could be worth up to $6 million.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
from the Quantum Fiber Studio
This is Bump and Stacy.
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Opening day is almost here, and we are sending one of you and a friend to experience it like never before. Imagine getting front row access to the opening ceremonies, player intros, and the first pitch, and so much more, all from the field. To enter, all you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab. If you don't already have it, text app to 866-979-3776. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Wednesday, March 18th. Joining us right now to talk March Madness, previewing the tourney with the Ringers, Tate Frazier on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Tate, how's it going?
It's going well. Best time of the year. Appreciate you guys having me on the show. Always a good time to talk about the madness. And we got some good matchups, some great characters, and a lot of good games ahead.
We are very happy to. We have so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start. I'm going to go with kind of a look ahead almost at where these guys are going. Have we ever had a tourney with this much future NBA talent?
I mean, that's a great point. I mean, we're talking 1981, that class with Jordan and Elijah Wan and, Chris Mullen. You can go down the list when you talk about sort of the talent that we have here. A lot of lottery talent. Obviously, we lost some guys along the way. JT Toppin, a first-team All-American for Texas Tech, not playing. Caleb Wilson for North Carolina, out as well. But Darren Peterson, AJ DeBansa, you kind of go down the list. I mean, Darius Acuff has been a superstar for Arkansas. Braden Burries for Arizona. I mean, the list goes on. And hopefully we get Mikael Brown for Louisville as well. And a lot of lottery talent and, a lot of good players that can make some noise and help their draft position for sure.
I'm on the Acuff bandwagon for sure. Watching him play is explosive. He's dropping like 30 in the tournament so far, in the SEC tournament. What is it about his game that makes him such a great prospect, and what are Arkansas's chances of really making a run at this thing?
Yeah, John Calipari, he knows how to find guards, and anytime he's putting it into that top tier of guards that he's had, and you can go through the list. I mean, SGA, obviously an MVP for him, Jamal Murray, John Wall, Derrick Rose, the list goes on. So John Calipari has a type, and Darius Acuff is a special guy. I mean, we're talking about like Stephon Marbury, maybe not with the same type of bounce, but the same type of impact on a game. And scoring-wise, I mean, Darius Acuff every single game, even if he's not having his best game, he finds a way to get you 20 points or more. And you saw it in the SEC tournament, set a record there. I think he ended up with 91 points over the 3-game span, so averaging around 30 points. He's been incredible. And this Arkansas team, a draw out there in Portland, that will be a little bit tough going out to the West Coast. I'm a little concerned when teams go out to the West Coast from the East Coast. They seem to struggle sometimes with that. So Hawaii's not going to be an easy matchup, but they should handle business there. And then they got a really tough Wisconsin team who, plays up to the level of who they're playing. And they've been able to knock off some top teams, as we saw against Michigan earlier in the year. So a tough draw for Arkansas, but definitely a chance for John Calipari to make a run with this Arkansas team.
What's your chalkiest region, and where do you have kind of the big surprise coming from?
Yeah, chalkiest. I mean, I do feel like, look, at the top, the 4-1 seeds are all really good in their own ways. I think Florida got a really tough draw by dealing with Houston potentially in the Elite Eight, so you don't like that. Michigan got a really good draw. If you look at their bracket and sort of the front courts they have to deal with, they don't have a team that really stands out to me that's going to give them some issues. Blake Buchanan for Iowa State, shout out to Coeur d'Alene, but he's going to have a lot to deal with when he goes up against a Daimara and Morez Johnson. Virginia has the front court to deal with them, but they're going to have some tough sledding to get there with a physical team like Tennessee along the way. So I think Michigan got a really good draw. And then Arizona, to me, they've had some struggles in the past with Wisconsin. And if they end up meeting Wisconsin in the Sweet 16, I think that could be a tough matchup for them. I know everybody's pointing to Duke and talking about all the coaches and all the programs. I mean, it's a blue blood bracket over there in the East, but I do think Duke's going to find a way to get it done. And maybe they see Kansas, maybe they see St. John's, maybe they see Michigan State or UConn along the way. But their defense is just so good. And if they get Gungba back for rim protection, I think that covers them. And Caden Boozer was the real question mark, and he looked great in the ACC tournament.
This tournament is like no other. This is the one tournament where the underdog can really make some noise and make a run. I always go back in the day when George Mason made a run at this thing. That was fun to watch. But I was listening to something this morning, and it said this is the first time that Howard's men and women both snuck into the tournament. Obviously, Howard with the first four coming, I believe, today they play. Who's your sneaky team? Who's your team this year that you feel like people might not know much about, but they can make some noise?
Yeah, that's a great question. I honestly think the gap from the top has been really, like the top 4 teams, 5 teams, whatever you want to put in there, and then down to the next tier. The gap has gotten wider just because of the size and the length of these teams, which is tough to sort of, find a team that you point to and say could really make a run as an upset team. You got to watch for some of these Dayton teams. NC State's been able to do it before, coming out of Dayton and being able to make it a run to a Final Four as an 11 seed. They have not been playing great. SMU is another team that got B.J. Edwards back, who led the ACC in steals and is a nice piece for them. So maybe SMU could be an 11 seed that you could look at. Missouri is a 10 seed that gets to play Miami in St. Louis. That's a nice advantage for them to have basically a home game. So that might be a team that you trend towards. I mean, a UCLA as a 7 seed. Obviously a team with Mick Cronin and Donovan Dent, who's been a great point guard, been playing really good since he had his Tyus Edney moment against Illinois at home this year. And that kind of turned the page for this team that was struggling quite a bit. I don't know if there's one team, maybe VCU as an 11 seed is someone you could go at, but I think a lot of these higher seeds are going to be struggling. And I think the chalk is going to end up being the winner again. I don't think we get 4 1 seeds like we did last year, but I do think there's not going to be a champion that's outside of one of those top 3 seeds.
We have 2 producers here, one of whom is an Arizona alum. I was waiting for Curtis to yell bear down into the mic. The other on our afternoon show is a huge Purdue fan, so it's going to be a test for them in a very trying tournament. I've seen different picks. I've been reading a bunch of previews where it's ultimately they're making their pick and who can ever tell if they're right. But I feel like I'm seeing more people have as a ceiling for Arizona that they're a national championship winning team and maybe not that high for Purdue. How do you see it with the 2 teams?
Yeah, Arizona, I am trying to pick against them so that they go on a run because I have picked, I've picked Arizona a few times and been burnt. The Princeton game is in my mind. I hope that Arizona can get over the hump. Tommy Lloyd's one of my favorite coaches in the country, obviously up in Spokane, Washington, all those years with Mark Few, and they have a great history with each other. I would love to see a Gonzaga, Arizona Elite 8 game where we get the master versus the protege, right, where we get Mark Few versus Tommy Lloyd. I think that would be a great storyline. So I'm hoping that happens. Unfortunately, that would mean that Purdue would end up losing along the way to Gonzaga, which I think that would be a really good game. I think Gonzaga is a little bit off the radar right now, which is a really good spot for them. Hopefully, Braden Huff. Sounds like Braden Huff is trending towards returning, which will be good. This Purdue team an incredible run for them in the Big Ten tournament. Obviously a preseason number 1, ended up being a 7 seed in the Big Ten tournament. And, a lot of people were kind of picking this team apart, but if you watched them play Michigan and what Trey Kaufman-Wren did, Braden Smith creating, he's going to break Bobby Hurley's assist record, which is incredible. Got to give him a lot of credit for that. So Purdue, their draw is really, really good. And, as far as the first 2 games, I think they get to the Sweet 16. I just think Gonzaga, Purdue, I would lean a little bit towards Gonzaga just because of Graham Ike and what he's been able to do in the post. I think he's a better guy than Oscar Clough, even though Clough, a Wazoo guy, been playing better for this Purdue team down the stretch. But I think that's where they end in the Sweet 16. And then Arizona, like I said, I'm hoping this is the year they finally get it done and get to the Final Four because they're due. They're long overdue to go on a real run. And Tommy Lloyd has been doing a great job with that program.
Lots of drama surrounding Miami of Ohio. Should they be in? Should they not be in? Bruce Pearl dropped his little 2 cents in this whole thing. Well, they're in. What were your thoughts around that? And how do you feel about just schedule configuration and what teams like Miami, Ohio should do?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you're trying to schedule games and teams are trying to manipulate the net rankings and trying to make sure that the metrics look good for them. So it's a tough battle for a team like Miami of Ohio. They had a lot of guys come back. So a lot of teams knew that they were going to be good this year and maybe wanted to avoid the pitfall of facing a Miami of Ohio team. So you feel for Travis Steele in that sense. And any team that goes undefeated in the regular season, I don't think it was even a question as to whether they would get in the tournament or not. It's sad that they have to go to Dayton because they lost to UMass. Shout out to Frank Martin. Obviously a legendary coach. That was, nice for him to get a good quality signature win for UMass in that tournament. It's a tough draw for them. SMU is a really good team. SMU has struggled a little bit down the stretch because they lost BJ Edwards, but you look at that backcourt for SMU, Pierre Jr., Boopy Miller, one of my favorite players in the country, a great guard, and then BJ Edwards coming back. I think that's a tough matchup for Miami. They definitely deserve to be in the tournament, but unfortunately they might have an early exit.
Well, and look, sometimes those Cinderella stories are what so many of us like, right? We watch to see the best programs, and typically they do advance, but everyone loves those early rounds of March Madness. Are we going to see less of that?
I think that's going to be like the Atlantic article that comes out, right? The Cinderella is dead. And the think piece. We all expect to see that at some point, and maybe that's fair because look, it's a funnel to the top with the talent, right? You identify the talent at these smaller programs or these programs that are kind of on the rise, and then you bring them to Florida, you bring them to Vanderbilt, you bring them to Arizona, whatever it may be. Even like a Tyon Grant Foster that goes to Gonzaga from a Grand Canyon program last year. So like that's sort of the trend in college basketball. The rich get richer, as we have sort of suspected would happen. But that is sort of the game that we play these days. And these guys that, are going into the tournament for some of these smaller programs, it's an opportunity for them to kind of showcase who they are. Cal Baptist is a team against a Kansas that I think might give them a little bit of noise. UNI, Northern Iowa, a team that's back in the tournament for the first time since Jesperson hit that shot against Texas about a decade ago. That's another veteran team that I think can give St. John some trouble out on the West Coast in San Diego. So there's a chance that we get some Cinderella stories, but in general, the talent has kind of the cream is risen to the top, and I expect to see that's why it's going to be a little bit chalky this year.
We're seeing the average age of these teams go up, right? In football, Indiana had like 30-year-olds out there playing for a national championship. I believe the average age now is like 21.6 when it comes to men's basketball. Who's the veteran team in this tourney this year?
Yeah, I mean, Northern Iowa is one of those teams that you can point to with the veteran team. Michigan with Yaxel Lindeborg, who's going to be the runner-up for National Player of the Year. He's 23 years old. If you wanted to see an example of like what a grown man looks like versus a freshman, when he went up against Illinois, they had their superstar freshman, Keaton Wagler, who's had an incredible season, and Yaxel Lindeborg just looked like a man amongst boys in that game. And I think that's a perfect example of like what we're dealing with. And with the COVID years finally kind of, going out of the picture, we're trending back in the direction where it does look a little bit more like college basketball. But, the guys that have been able to transfer up and, find a new home and find a new setting. And, they've been able to, create a new path for them. Because, look, if you're going to be a second-round pick in the NBA, it's much better to come back to college, get paid $2.5–3 million. Right. That's a better deal than going on a two-way contract and playing in the G League. And I think that's the reason why college basketball, the product is incredible. You have three kind of tiers of players. You got the great freshman class. You got the European guys who are coming over here who have been playing in pro leagues, like a Testa Ritter at Virginia, who's 23 years old and from Belgium. And then, you got these guys that have been able to come out of the portal from smaller programs and find new homes. So, I mean, it's a triple threat attack as far as what the recruitment process looks like these days. And a lot of teams have been able to build really good teams because of that.
It feels weird asking if the Zags could be a sleeper. Like, I feel it feels like a weird question.
30-3 sleeper.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. And yet I don't hear quite as much about them as I do Arizona and Duke and Purdue. So tell me about kind of their path, what you like about this team.
Yeah, I really like this Gonzaga team. I think the Michigan game earlier in the year out in Vegas where they got blown out kind of turned a lot of people off on this team. But the length and athleticism that they were able to add, Tyon Grant Foster, as I mentioned before, Adam Miller, Fogel's been playing a lot better for this team. He's been a nice piece. I'm hoping, like I said, they get Braden Huff back. I think that kind of shores up that front line for them, and that makes them definitely more dangerous as far as the ability to make a run to the Final Four. And the last time we were in Indy for the Final Four, we had an undefeated Gonzaga team who made it all the way to the national championship game. They were knocking on the door of the 76 Hoosiers. And unfortunately, that Baylor, trifecta of guards was, got a lot of ball pressure, and Corey Kispert didn't look like he could dribble against those guys. They played so hard defensively. So that was maybe something that, Mark Few goes there and rewrites history and gets back to Indianapolis and maybe can make some things different. But I'm with you. I think Gonzaga is an underrated team. They have a tough matchup potentially in the second round against AJ DeBansa, who's potentially going to be the number one overall pick. But BYU lost their second, or arguably their best player when you talk about college basketball, and Richie Saunders. So I think they're more susceptible. I think the front line for Gonzaga with Ike gives them some trouble. And then once you get into Sweet 16 in the second weekend, anything is possible. If Wisconsin or Arkansas gives Arizona some trouble, maybe they get a break where they don't have to face Arizona. And then, once you get to the Final Four, anything can happen.
I heard a funny story from Jeff Teague. He was talking about how he balled out in the tournament, and they were giving out awards, and he was about ready to accept the Player of the Tournament award, and then they called James Harden from the stands to come down and accept the award. Who do you think wins that award this year?
Yeah, most outstanding player is always fascinating because it's not always like, perfect example, Villanova, in 2018, that was a team that had the luxury of having, Jalen Brunson, who's a national player of the year. They have Mikal Bridges, obviously, but DiVincenzo was the one who was the star of their team, so it's never quite the guy that you would maybe suspect to be the most outstanding player. But if I, kind of forecast what this tournament's going to look like, I think it's going to be a coronation for Duke. I think Duke's going to end up winning the national championship. And if it's Duke, then it's an easy answer. It's going to be Cam Boozer. He's the national player of the year. I don't think anybody else on that team, maybe an Isaiah Evans is kind of like the DiVincenzo where he gets hot and makes a bunch of threes for them and they end up giving him the MOP. But I would keep it chalk. I would go with Cam Boozer.
Last one very quickly before we let you go. It's an NBA question, but I'm kind of circling back to my first question about all the NBA talent that's here in this tourney. Obviously, with talk of expansion to Seattle, we were talking about that a ton yesterday, and we listened to that cut from Draymond Green from a month ago saying that he thinks there's just not enough talent to go around. I think I wondered, is that from maybe not paying as close attention to incoming talent in the league? What's your take on the level of incoming talent and on college basketball's growth and then the injection into the NBA?
Yeah, this freshman class is going to be a game changer. I think there's a lot of guys in that class who are going to end up being stars in their own right. I don't know if we have a Cooper Flag level star who looks like LeBron Jr. out there right now. He's incredible. Con Knipple has been a great piece for them. I think there's even some of these other guys who, VJ Edgecombe, obviously for the Sixers, has been a great piece for them. So there's a lot of talent that came in last year. I think this group does it again. Caleb Wilson, who's hurt for North Carolina, I think he's going to be a star at the next level. He's kind of, if you got AJ1 as far as wing players, I think Caleb Wilson is right there as a 1B. Cam Boozer is going to be a guy who's in the conversation as an all-star potentially one day. Darren Peterson is an incredible talent. He's had some issues this year with some injuries and things like that. But to go back to the Seattle Sonics of it all, that's just a no-brainer to me for the NBA. You need that market. That's a market that is starving and will thrive once they get a program and a team back there in Seattle. And, there are a lot of players. If you watch some of these G League games, there's some good players. And then also you got some guys who are kind of hiding in plain sight that I think could go to a team like Seattle and end up being like franchise type players for them. So I understand when you're in the NBA, you don't want guys to come in and take your jobs. And I think that's a very fair point and a fair stance to have. But I think, if they had Seattle and Vegas, I think there's enough talent to go around.
Between that and then the love for the Zags, I think you've won over so many listeners today. We appreciate you joining us to help us preview the tourney, Tate. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Of course. Anytime. Hope you guys enjoy the tournament. And let's see if Gonzaga can shock the world. That'd be a lot of fun.
See ya. Previewing the NCAA Tourney with the Ringers, Tate Frazier. Thank you again to Tate for taking the time to join us. He's got to have a busy couple days here.
This is his Super Bowl,
Frazier.
Man. Imagine he's doing this. This is what he lives for.
He knows everything about everything.
Yeah.
It's great. You could ask him about the first guy off the bench for like the 16 season.
You can ask him about every community college basketball.
He's like,
got it.
Let's talk, JUCO. Let's go that route. Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what did Matt Leinart do that you can absolutely relate to?
Oh, man, he said no. He said no to someone asking if he could unretire his jersey to give to some type of recruit. And no, you don't do that. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. He deserves to have his jersey retired. Don't touch him. I can relate on a lower level because when I was in high school, my jersey's retired at my high school, and one of my old teammates has a son who's coming up and asked if I could unretire my jersey and let his son wear it, and I just didn't answer the text.
You left him on red.
I left him on red. I'm like, come on, man. Like, you don't ask that. Like, I have to, offer it up, I feel like.
Yeah.
There's one kid that my other buddy was his son was a receiver, and he was trying to choose between us and a private school. And I told my boy, I go, if he chooses us, I'll let him wear the jersey. Didn't work. Went to the private school.
Yeah, you can't have
now he's playing. I think he's at Nevada, so he's doing good things now.
Yeah, I agree with you, though, in general, where think of the Matt Leinart situation. Yeah, it might be a 5-star recruit. You're really excited about him. Maybe he ends up being a first-team All-Pro in the NFL, but you haven't proven anything yet. Yeah. And you're asking for a Heisman winner and national champions uni?
Yeah. Come on.
I don't know about that one. Second down. What move did the Ops make that makes sense?
Christian Kirk is now going to the 49ers. It's not as big of a move as I initially thought. He slowed down his production a little bit, but he can do some of the things that Rashid can do, which is just hold the safeties, right? Keep them honest, stretch the field out. And they're doing some things over there. Yeah, you got Mike Evans, you got Ricky Pearsall, Christian Kirk, who are going to be your starting three. So you got DeMarcus Robinson, who gave us fits when he was with the Rams a couple years ago. But it's just a solid, mature room. And I think with that offense, you don't necessarily need like speedsters everywhere, right? Mike Evans is your red zone guy. Pearsall's in between the 20, and then Kirk can stretch the field out. I just like the combination of receivers that they have over there. So I'm looking out. I'm watching what the ops are doing, man. You know, this is a tougher division in football.
Got to keep an eye on them. Third down. What team will you be watching closely in the draft?
Man, I'm watching the Miami Dolphins, which is weird, man. Between, the first 3 rounds, they have 7 picks. 7 picks, 11 overall, 30th, 43rd, 75th, 87th, 90th, 94th. And then they got 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 7th. They got some work to do. And it's a true and complete rebuild. You got Malik Willis over there. How patient are they going to be with him? You just traded Waddle to the Broncos, got some picks over there, first round in with a 3rd or 4th rounder out of that pick over there. It's just interesting because you look at the division. Yes, of course, you have the AFC Conference champions coming back. They're going to have a tougher schedule. The Jets debacle. And then you're looking at the Buffalo Bills. It's just I see what they're doing over there, and this is their opportunity. This could be a really good draft for them if they do it right.
4th down. In our second hour, we were joined by NFL Network analyst Mark Ross. Anything stand out from that conversation?
Yeah, he said Wilson, new running back Emmanuel Wilson, is scrappy. Not a guy that he thinks can be the guy. He expects the Hawks to get maybe 1 or 2 running backs in the draft, which would be interesting because they only have 4 picks, which leads me to believe they might get a few more. He doesn't think Charbonnet is the number 1 by himself. He thinks he needs some help there. And I love that he mentioned that the offensive line, you don't need superstars. And most people can only name a few offensive linemen who aren't on their team anyway. Yeah, no Pro Bowlers on that offensive line. I think you have Pro Bowl type talent at times. Abe Lucas has shown it. Cross has shown it. I think Gray Zabel is on his way. Sundell's athletic. Anthony Bradford is strong. And they're bringing them all back. So I like the continuity that could be formed here. And I think that you don't have superstars. But if you got 5 solid individuals who can stay healthy, you never really know.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting hearing that about Charbonnet because I think a lot of people see it as like, well, you don't need to find great talent. You need to find someone to just hold, the fort down for a minute until Charbonnet's ready to go. Not only does that ignore potential setbacks or potential issues or how difficult it can be to, hit the ground running after major reconstructive surgery or an ACL tear. I thought it was interesting just to hear someone say, yeah, I think Charbonnet is better as part of a committee.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be an insult,
No.
but that's kind of how I see Charbonnet too. He's a bruiser. Yeah. And typically you pair that with a guy like Walker and it's a really cool combo. That's not unique or bad.
No.
So,
I mean, my man was part of a combo and had 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was working for him. It's okay. What I need to know coming your way at 1:45. Get your questions in now. 866-979-3776. Any question, text it now. Hype Train coming your way next.
9 out of 10 experts agree wearing earbuds at work is the universal signal for leave me alone. So grab the earbuds, pull up the Seattle Sports app, and trade that annoying coworker's endless yapping for this.
He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Listen to every Mariners spring training game live for free, only on the Seattle Sports app. Improving lives through Mariners baseball, one
sparkling play by Josh Naylor
at a time.
Some places just know how to make an evening special. I'm Brock Ewart, and for me, that place is Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue. For 24 years, my friend Chef John Howie and his team have delivered incredible seafood. I'm talking pristine local oysters, sushi, cedar plank salmon, generous portions, and an unmatched beverage list. From the first greeting to the final bite, you feel taken care of. Celebration, business dinner, night with friends, Sea Star turns great meals into lasting memories. SeaStarRestaurant.com.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
See country star Aaron Lewis and the State Liners at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, March 24th at 8 p.m. And now an added show on March 25th. He's a multi-platinum artist whose raw lyrics and powerhouse vocals have captivated fans for decades. Now he and his band, the State Liners, are coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see Aaron Lewis at muckleshootcasino.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Get broadcast times for every Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League broadcast.
Holy smokes, he does it again!
At seattlesports.com.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
This week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to my friend Brock Heward. Brock, why did you call First Mark?
Brandy, it is so good to talk to you. It's been too long, and we made that call. And the only bummer is we waited too long. I know you hear from people that you talk to as well as I do to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. I just wish we would have done it earlier. You know, Brandy, the word that comes to my mind is a word I use on my sports show a lot, and that is connective tissue. It's important in team building. It's important to players in a locker room to be connected to others. And when it comes to insurance, it's so complicated. It's stressful, and you just don't even want to deal with it. And that's where the connective tissue of having a pro, having a broker, having a partner, and most of all, having a teammate like First Mark Insurance was the best connective tissue we could find.
Brock did it. My family did it. You got to do it. It's free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What I need to know coming your way in 15 minutes. You can get your questions in now, though. Any question, anything top of mind, something you need to know the answer to by the end of today's show, text it now. 866-979-3776. Right now, let's head to the station for Hype Train. Cal Raleigh is not in the starting lineup for the WBC Final tonight against Venezuela. But despite not starting, Cal gets his first hit of the WBC tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be fifth inning. I don't know who's home or away, so just pick fifth, bottom, top, whatever, fifth. And they're going to call Cal in. It's going to be a 3-1 count. Who's the pitcher today? Is he righty or lefty?
Lefty.
Is it lefty?
Well, lefty
when
starter.
when Cal's caught.
Probably a righty reliever.
All right. So Cal's going to be on the left side of that plate. You're going to pull that thing, upper deck. Venezuela fans, shh. Got him out there.
Wow, I hope that happens.
I'm on it.
Despite not starting, Cal Raleigh gets his first hit of the WBC tonight. Bump is boarding. Curtis, are you a hater?
Me? A hater?
Never.
I mean, at times, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But not today. Not right now, no. Cal Raleigh comes up clutch when Aaron Judge can't. And Cal Raleigh pinch hits for Aaron Judge. Gets a
awesome.
double.
That's not happening.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Awesome.
We're boarding this
Aaron
train.
Judge.
Yeah. Aaron Judge. Also, I saw Aaron Judge walk into the game. So Team USA is wearing hockey jerseys, Team USA hockey jerseys.
Sweaters.
And Aaron Judge is wearing Austin Matthews' jersey. And Austin Matthews known as a choke artist in the NHL. So I'm just saying.
Was it against Seattle in the ALDS or against
Vlad
or the
Jr.,
ALCS or against the Dodgers in the World Series that Vlad wore the Maple Leafs?
I think it was against the Mariners.
Okay, in that case, it's less.
Yeah.
If it was in the World Series, it made sense. But everyone was like, no! Yes, I'm boarding this train. Can you imagine if I said no?
I mean,
I can.
You would be the hater then.
Yeah, well, I'm not a hater.
Booty cheeks hurt right now?
Why are you laughing?
Booty cheeks
I'm
hurt.
not a
Your
hater.
pants are on
I'm
fire.
not a hater. I'm not lying. I'm not a hater. I don't hate anyone.
Just went off in that
I
room.
don't hate anyone. Okay, a lot of things do annoy me, and I complain to Bump a lot about them, basically during every break.
There are times, during commercial breaks or during our prep, it'll be quiet, and Stacey will turn around to the room and she'll be like, "Can I be a hater for a second?"
Can I be honest? That's not what I say, but it's the radio-friendly version. Can I be honest for a minute and just say this? Next up, the Seahawks should use their number 32 overall pick. You have to say yes or no.
What would I say?
I expected you to say, it depends who's available.
It depends.
No.
But that's real.
Sure. This isn't realistic.
That's the real situation.
Does your gut right now tell you, how about I'll frame it like this. Do you want to see them use it? If the pick is in, are you kind of excited?
Of course.
Hear
then
those
yes.
chimes.
Because I'm doing the coverage and I don't want to sit there for 4 hours and.
So you're boarding.
Yeah, I'm boarding.
You're boarding.
Just for the sake of my sanity. I'm boarding.
The Seahawks should use their number 32 overall pick. Forget trading back. Bump is boarding. Curtis, are you?
I'm going to say no. I'll let this train go by. I think you can get similar value by moving down to about picks 34, 35, 36. Pick up an extra pick somewhere in the 4th or 5th round because you don't have a 4th or a 5th round pick. I think that would be the best route the Seahawks should take in this draft.
I'm boarding for the same reason. It's pure selfishness.
Just selfish.
You don't want to sit there all draft night?
Yeah.
See the
Sit
Seahawks
through
straight
the whole
out?
thing. I started reporting as a reporter when the Seahawks were doing that regularly, like routinely trading out of the first round, and you would just wait and wait and wait and wait, and then you don't do anything. It's just picks there, it's traded, and you're like, well, that's all.
Yep.
Guess that was it. Next up. The Seahawks open the 2026 season on the road.
I mean, I'm going off of my logistics partners here, and it sounds like that's probably going to happen unless they move the Sounders to a different day, which I would assume the Sounders will push back because it's like disrespectful. Like, oh, you're going to ask us to move? So, I'll board that. They're on the road.
All right. If anyone needs the background that Bump is talking about, it sounds like that Australia game will be on Thursday, meaning the Seahawks season opener will be on Wednesday. The problem is that the Sounders are playing at Lumen on Wednesday. Not only that, but the Mariners are also playing on Wednesday. So it's just a packed SoDo area entirely. How is that going to work? Curtis, the Seahawks open the season on the road.
Boy, that would be such a bummer to see them open the year on the road.
Disrespectful.
I was looking at when the Sounders game could move. Do you push it that Thursday? But then I believe Kansas City, their opponent, would only have 1 day off in between that game and their next, which is a game against, I think, LA or something. So I don't know logistically pushing it back. Maybe they move the Sounders game to Tuesday of that week. Have the Seahawks play at night on that Wednesday. Mariners move up to a day game on the Wednesday. I just know that there's probably going to be some financials exchanged hands between the NFL and the MLS and maybe Major League Baseball as well. It must be nice to be in those conversations if you've got leverage like the Mariners and Sounders do here. So I don't think they open the season on the road. I think cooler heads prevail. The Seahawks are at Lumen Field week 1. Not boarding.
I don't think so either, but mostly because I hope they don't have to. Now, the record on the road, as we all know, has actually been stellar under Mike McDonald. It just feels like salt in the wound. And it doesn't help that your biggest NFC West divisional rival are the ones opening up that Australia game. So they're kind of throwing you into this mix. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if the Rams are the reason that you're opening the season on a Wednesday on the road. You're just going like, so the NFL wants to fatten its wallet by expanding its international games, and that means that we, the Super Bowl champions, have to play on the road. I'd be livid.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, no, I don't think so. Next up. Draymond is right. There's not enough talent to go around for 2 more NBA teams.
Nah, he's wrong. I think he's looking at it the wrong way. He's just looking at teams that are tanking. Since lottery picks have been the thing, teams have been tanking. Like, this is just what happens. It's going to happen every year. As soon as teams realize they're out. I think you just open it up. More Europeans, more G Leaguers. I think there's talent out there.
Draymond Green is right. If you guys missed it a month ago, it's resurfacing now as part of the debate with expansion talks. But a month ago, he said that he would be against expansion because he thinks there's frankly not enough talent to go around in the NBA. It's going to water down the product overall. Bump saying no. Curtis, are you boarding?
I'm not too worried about it. I don't think this is going to be as big of a problem as Draymond is alluding to here. I feel like the NBA does as much research as possible when it comes to the potential of expansion, and I think they've probably considered this a time or two in all of these expansion talks they've had over the last few years. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue, and I know that Draymond mentioned that there's a ton of teams tanking this year. There's also a ton of really good prospects at the top of this draft, so like, even if you're tanking for the number 1 overall pick, you're also kind of tanking for like the number 2, number 3, number 4 pick. Like, there's going to be plenty of opportunities to add talent in this draft. I think that's just why there's so many teams that have packed it in already.
Not boarding this one either. Getting quickly back to our last hype train. Someone said day game to open the season, ?
Not during the week. On a Wednesday?
On a Wednesday at 1?
No.
That'd be crazy.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. We'd get great ratings in this time.
Sure. Like, for us, it's fantastic. For me, selfishly, and for Bump and Curtis, it's great news. But for every Seahawks fan, it's incredibly inconvenient.
Yeah.
Traffic is a nightmare.
Oh my goodness.
Good luck leaving work and getting home in a decent time. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's the logistics of going to Australia if that game's going to be Thursday. And it was kind of a lose-lose situation. If the Rams were to play on Wednesday, it's disrespectful because they're opening the season. If the Seahawks play on Wednesday, now suddenly you've got to work around the Sounders and Mariners schedules. Just tough.
Sounds like a lot.
It's a good position to be in. You're opening the season because you're the Super Bowl winner. You don't want to complain too much.
But convenient for us, though.
I know. I don't know why I said it like that. It's me talking to Lukey all the time.
Exactly.
By the way, still people texting Dookie every time I say his name. I'm waiting to just be walking down the street and someone's just going to go, Dookie!
That's love.
Yeah.
That's showing love.
But that's not his name.
Yeah.
No.
Bump isn't my name.
It's true. He's got a point, Stacey.
No. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Breaking news this morning from ESPN.
Is it finally happening?
Good golly, Miss Molly.
ESPN's Shams Charania, the NBA, will go next week to explore adding expansion teams in Vegas and Seattle. Joining us now, Shams himself.
The NBA is projecting that both Seattle and Las Vegas would immediately jump into the top 8 of revenue-generating teams.
Stay caught up on the latest at seattlesports.com and Seattle Sports on 710, the app, and YouTube.
Flying chickens in a barnyard.
If you've gained 20, 30, or even 40 or more pounds over the past few years and nothing seems to work anymore, listen up. I'm Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and our completely medication-free program has helped thousands in Washington lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days. No drugs, no weekly shots, no muscle loss, no side effects, no forever monthly costs, just food, but the right type, in the right amount at the right time. All part of a detailed plan with expert coaching every step of the way that helps you reset your metabolism and burn fat. Schedule your free phone consult at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Yeah, Mike Salk here, and Dr. Coogan is right. I can attest to losing 35 pounds with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. It works. It's safer, less expensive than alternatives, with no injections or pills, and no scary side effects. Schedule a free consult and find out for yourself.
Over 4,000 people have lost 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 60 days. Come to our clinic in Kirkland or do our program from anywhere you live with our remote options. Schedule your free phone consult online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
P&D Tree Service. Local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. If you were hit hard by the storm, P&D Tree will remove trees and clean up while minimizing impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service. Any job, big or small. Safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeService.com.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. Final tryouts for adults ages 18 to 65 and older are this Sunday, March 22nd at Interlake High School in Bellevue. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers in high school to former college and pros. Get all the info at PSSBL.com. That's PSSBL.com.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With the center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
He died at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... Let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13, and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission, no cash access, and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Opening day is just days away, and we want to send you and a friend to experience it like never before. Get front row access to the opening ceremonies, player introductions, first pitch, and more, all from the field. To enter, just open the Seattle Sports app and hit the Win tab. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Better hustle. Contest runs through March 18th. From the home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett. With more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're number one.
The brackets are now open. Compete in the Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Head to seattlesports.com/win to pre-register. Receive your bracket and compete for your shot at great prizes. The grand prize winner from the 64-team bracket will win $1,000 in Visa gift cards. But if your bracket is busted in the first round, we have other ways for you to play too. Register and find complete rules at seattlesports.com/win.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's what I need to know. Get your question in now. 866-979-3776. I have a question, says a listener. Do you think the Seahawks are fine on defense, losing 3 starters to free agency?
They're not as good as they were before those 3 were on the squad, that's for sure. But I think if you believe in Mike's ability to adjust and John's ability to provide when it comes to this certain types of players, I think could be okay. I think there's going to be some growing pains. I think most teams go through them throughout the season, but there's no reason for us not to believe that they could find the right guys to fill some voids.
What I need to know, what's the best version of the potato? Baked, fried, waffle, tater tots, mashed.
Baked. Because then you could add stuff to it, right?
You're taking that over French fries?
What? That's like when you said Thursday. No, remember when Bump said Thursday's the best day of the week?
During football season.
That was a wild take.
I like baked. I think I'm just on my baked tip right now because
not even Sunday.
That's because you're 40. That's why you're on your baked potato.
Have you had a loaded baked potato before?
I have,
yeah. You slip on your Skechers, you lean back in your armchair.
You know what?
You have your baked potato and you fall asleep sitting up straight.
And it's marvelous. It's marvelous.
Did you mow your lawn after or like before?
It's during the winter, you don't hit the mow.
No, that's like a horrible answer. The thing
baked potatoes bomb.
No, they are. All of these answers are good. It's like, what's the best version of chocolate or whatever. Like I would love a baked potato. That's not the best answer. Its supreme form is a French fry.
You can add vegetables to it. Protein,
French fries you don't even
cheese.
need to add anything to French fries. That's how good they are, but you can add sauce and it's even better.
I think it's because I feel if I eat too many fries, like I feel just bloated.
What if calories
eat too many fries,
count?
but you'll eat a whole potato?
Yeah, but it's smaller. It's smaller. It's the way it's made. I don't know what it is.
What if there were no health side effects and no calories? You're just going purely on taste and texture. What is the best version of a
fries? Of course
exactly.
It's fries. But I've been on my baked potato tip.
You're just so into baked potatoes right now.
I am. They're bomb right now.
Got orange chicken on the Mount Rushmore of food. You just got
baked potato.
But I have weird food takes. I feel like the narrative out there is
You don't
wrong.
like lasagna?
No, I like it,
but it was just a weird choice for Mount Rushmore. You had lasagna and orange chicken on your Mount Rushmore of best foods that exist.
Yeah. Did I have a burrito on there too? I hope I did.
I think so. All right. What I need to know, how clean can I reasonably expect my house to be with 9 and 3-year-old boys?
It's never clean.
Yeah, it's over.
It's never clean, dog.
Yeah.
Don't even get mad at them either. That's what kids do. They wreck stuff.
I was a clean child.
I'm pretty sure every kid was messy at some point.
Not me. Not me. What I need to know. I like this one. What's the coolest animal you've ever seen, but in real life? So zoos, aquariums don't count. Like you're out and about. Like you're walking.
So we were at the park probably a year or 2 ago, and a bald eagle got its foot caught in like tall grass, and was just kind of like flapping its wings, and it was stuck. And so all of us adults are like, do we call animal control? Like, what do we do here? Like, this is a protected
call the
animal.
White House.
Yeah, like, what do we do? Luckily, it wiggled itself free and flew away, but like you could feel the wind come off of its wings.
Yeah.
I've never been that close to a bald eagle before.
Bump.
Probably a moose.
Really?
In real life?
Big as that, yeah.
Where'd you
How
see that?
How close were you?
I was near Canada on a golf course, and that dude just from a distance just ran by. It's the biggest animal I've ever. It's scary, and it was like hundreds of yards away.
I mean, I've seen bald eagles close-ish, but I'm trying to think of like animals you never see. Like, you know, the weirdest one that I still remember for no reason, and you guys are going to be like, okay. But I was driving down, I'm like in the middle of like Wallingford. Like I'm in like, we're talking like main streets going to the freeway, and it was at 4 a.m. I was driving my friend to the airport, and there was a coyote. And I know that that's dumb. Because it's like, oh, it's a coyote. It's like a raccoon. But I'm talking about like on I-5. There was just a coyote walking down the street.
Really?
I was like, whoa, on the ramp. But I was like, what you doing here, buddy?
Hey.
You gotta get gone.
The food source was low. He was
dumpster
struggling.
It made me kind of sad. He didn't have any friends.
Well, they usually roll solo.
Yeah. What I need to know, if all Seattle sports hosts and producers were on Big Brother, who's getting voted off first and why?
I don't
I've
know how
never been
it
a
works.
Big Brother. Yeah, I've never been a Big Brother watcher.
I'm sorry.
But who's getting voted off first? Basically, you're putting us all in an enclosed space for weeks on end.
And there's
With,
no
like,
challenges. You just
There
I don't
are
like
challenges.
I'll admit to being a candidate for it because I'm incredibly annoying. Like, I could see them being like, we just have to get rid of her. She's always asking us if we're mad at her. Like, she's got to go.
Enclosed space. I feel like Brock might not respect other people's space in an enclosed space, which could lead to his demise.
If the price is right, do you think the Seahawks would trade for Devon Achane, and would it be a great move?
Would they trade for him? So you're giving up a draft pick and probably a player. They don't have many of those. I mean, I'd explore it.
Someone told you to put steak on a baked potato.
I've had short rib on a baked potato before.
Yeah.
I just can't believe you didn't say fries.
Brisket.
Have the Dodgers, what I need to know, have the Dodgers, with their frivolous money, paid off clown manager Mark DeRosa to bench Cal in favor of Will Smith? I like the conspiracy theory. We're going to the Curtis's conspiracy corner with that one.
No, I think it's all performance-based.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think it's that deep.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone said, is a coyote a bear? Okay, listen. I know a coyote.
Foxes are. We learned that.
Foxes. I think I said foxes is bears, which then made it worse. But I really thought, just in hindsight, I just would like to say, I thought that it was one of those weird things where you learn that, like, you know, oh, did you know squirrels are marsupials? Just like random animal facts. They're not, but like, where it was like a trick question. I thought that I would have a gotcha moment where I'd be like, hey, how about that? How about that bit of animal information that I have? Foxes is bears. No, aren't foxes bears? I don't remember that, frankly. No, aren't foxes bears? That's enough.
That kind of doesn't even sound like you.
I know.
You're
I don't
tapped
think
in
so either.
To a different place mentally.
I don't think it's me. What I need to know will
She thought she had us with that.
I know, I did.
Fools.
I asked, and it was a leading question because I knew the answer was yes. Foxes is bears. 509 says, what I need to know, will J.P. Crawford still be the Seattle Mariners starting shortstop by the end of the season? What a question to end this whole show on, because this could be a whole segment. Is he going to start this season?
Guess you're going to have to
start
tune in
there.
tomorrow to find out.
Yes, you're going to have to tune in tomorrow to find out. Wyman and Bob coming up next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. No, aren't foxes bears?
9 out of 10 experts agree wearing earbuds at work is the universal signal for leave me alone. So grab the earbuds, pull up the Seattle Sports app, and trade that annoying coworker's endless yapping for this.
He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Listen to every Mariners spring training game live for free, only on the Seattle Sports app. improving lives through Mariners baseball, one
Sparkling play by Josh Naylor
at a time.
Spring is here, Seattle, and now is the smartest time to replace your roof. Trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing, a local, family-owned company that knows how to roof in Washington weather year-round. Schedule your free estimate today at 3treeroofing.com to take advantage of spring pricing, shorter wait times, and get $500 off your new roof before the summer rush hits. Our experts come to you, build a clear plan, and give you an estimate that same day. No surprises and no high-pressure sales tactics. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Spring and summer, it's right around the corner. So if you haven't called PCF about getting started on your new deck, well, right now is the time. With a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long. And right now, you can get up to $6,000 off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Save an additional $1,500 when you bundle your deck and patio cover. Some restrictions do apply, but do what we did. Contact PCF for all the details and start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build by the spring. Planning and permits, they can take a little time, so please don't wait. Get started today. Get project ideas, browse photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and if you have joint pain, this will be of interest to you. This Thursday night at 6 p.m., Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Learn more about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go pain-free in 2026. Join his free live stem cell webinar this Thursday night at 6 p.m. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hi, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store. Something that happens here most every day are customers and contractors looking to purchase doors they can take today. Frank Lumber has a good selection of pre-hung display doors that are ready to go. And if we don't have what you need today, whether it be style or size, and you find a door in stock, we can still get you taken care of quickly. Come visit our showroom and bargain barn in Shoreline. Also, be sure to check us out online at franklumber.com.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply.